I'm just a third-rate welder who's only good at welding steel pipes. But my client asked me to weld a 5-meter-tall Optimus Prime, with a strict delivery deadline of 48 hours, because it's a birthday present for his grandfather.
However,
His original intention was just to order a 50 centimeters figure, but he accidentally added an extra zero by mistake. I had no idea about any of this. I thought making a 5-meter mech in just 2 days would be way too difficult. I was going to turn down the job, but the payment was way too generous. So I worked day and night. Didn't sleep for 48 hours straight. And finally, right before the birthday banquet, managed to finish this giant custom mech in time, sticking to my principle of absolute responsibility to clients. I didn't want anyone to see the mech before it arrived at the destination. So I wrapped the entire mech in a red cloth, then drove a rented heavy-duty truck, hauling the tightly wrapped mech and set off. Over an hour later, Yunde Manor, Yunlai Mountain, Shanghai City. Here is the private estate of Wang Tianhao, a famous entrepreneur in Shanghai. Also, the venue for his father's 70th birthday celebration. A legally modified heavy-duty truck, after verification, entered the estate's front gate. I parked the mech on the open ground in front of the villa, still tightly covered with the red cloth. After 2 days and nights of hard work, the task was finally done. I put my phone on silent and prepared to get some good sleep. Early next morning, the entire estate started buzzing with activity. Luxury cars drove into Shanghai City one after another. Business leaders showed up in droves. All the guests noticed that on the open ground in front of the villa, there stood a huge object wrapped in red cloth. No one dared touch the birthday gift at the time. Approaching noon, 3 military vehicles entered the estate, parked on the open ground. Armed soldiers got off first. Alert guards were posted around. An elderly man wearing a Zhongshan suit stepped out from the middle armored car, walking steadily toward the villa, headed inside. Oh, Wang, you show up so late to your own birthday party. Were you working on something and lost track of time again? Old Wang heard the familiar voice. His cloudy eyes suddenly brightened. Old Hua, you old rascal. How'd you leave your own affairs and show up here? Another white-haired elder came out of the villa, wearing the exact same Zhongshan suit as old Wang. Some guests around recognized him and instantly showed respect for old Hua. Both old Wang and old Hua are titans of the modern scientific world and the pillars of Shanghai's military research base. National treasures. Actually, old Wang, I came to chat with you face to face about something. We need to speed up our exoskeleton armor research. What's up, old Hua? Did you hear something on the grapevine? Last night, I got word. The Northern Command is also working on exoskeleton armor. They're already in the testing phase. That's fast. How are their performance and strength tests? Extremely strong. Old Wang frowned instantly. The research results will directly determine the focus and funding for future resources. If the Northern Command takes the lead, how can he show his face? At this moment, a petite girl, about 18 years old, hurried up to old Wang. Grandpa, the birthday banquet is about to start. Everyone's here except second uncle and sister Yixu. The rest have all arrived. The girl smiled sweetly and took out a mysterious gift box. This is my gift for Grandpa. Old Wang smiled broadly, taking the gift box. This came from the American military, an exoskeleton armor model. Wang Ning lifted her chin, looking quite proud. Upon hearing the words exoskeleton armor, both elders' eyes flashed with gold. Back when China was developing nuclear submarines, they used American models to verify their designs. Maybe this model could inspire them too. Old Wang unwrapped the gift. Every joint and structure was ingenious. Old Hua immediately could tell it was special. It must be based on the real thing, Ning. You really found Grandpa the perfect gift. Old Wang laughed cheerfully. As long as Grandpa likes it. Wang Ning looked even prouder. She took out her phone, snapped a pic, and posted it online, then forwarded it to Wang Yixu. On her way, Wang Yixu saw the message and could only smile helplessly. Wang Ning is her cousin, who always competes with her, but has never won, and now even wants to compete with birthday gifts. Wang Yixu didn't mind. What she was worried about now was the 50 centimeters mech model she commissioned, and whether it had been delivered to the estate. Texting and calling me but getting no reply. About 10 minutes later, Wang Tianhao and Wang Yixu finally arrived just before the party started. Dad, I wish you oceans of happiness and long life like the ancient pine of Nanshan. Wang Tianhao presented a prized ginseng, a 200-year-old Chengbai mountain ginseng he spent lots of money on. What's the point of this? Just like your older brother, only knows how to waste money. Old Wang complained, but he wasn't really angry. Little Yixu, it's been so long since I last saw you. Like Ning, you've both grown into beautiful young ladies. Besides science, old Wang cares most about his two granddaughters. Dad, you still think she's just a little kid. Wang Tianhao laughed from the side. Relatives and guests laughed together. The atmosphere was harmonious. Yixu, you prepared a gift for Grandpa too, right? Don't act all mysterious. Hurry and show us. Wang Ning poked her head out from the crowd, smiling as she asked. Obvious competitive tone. Old Wen's eyes lit up, also urging. Yixu, your dad said, you prepared a great gift for Grandpa. Where is it, Grandpa? Just wait a bit longer. Right now, even I don't know where the present is. Wang Yixu looked uneasy, her brows full of worry. Head down, quickly texting. Master Su, where are you? Why hasn't my custom mech been delivered? I trusted you so much. How could you let me down? Please call me when you see this. Wang Tianhao saw something was wrong with his beloved daughter, and quietly asked, Yixu, did you get scammed by that Master Su? Wang Yixu's eyes turned red from anxiety. Sister Zhu, where's your present? Don't keep hiding it. Come on, let everyone see. Wang Ning grabbed Yixu's arm and shook it twice, urging again. Yixu's eyes were full of tears, looking so aggrieved. She'd been scammed. How could she admit it? She wanted to disappear. Wang Ning confirmed Yixu didn't bring a gift, and couldn't hide her joy inside. Finally, she won one today. She held back a smile, pretended to be concerned. Did you misplace it, Sister Yixu? Don't worry, my 10 centimeters exoskeleton armor model can be our joint gift. Grandpa really likes it. Wang Yixu felt even worse inside. Originally, he had also prepared a 50 centimeter Mecha model. But now, he could only confess that he'd been scammed. I had a gift prepared too. But just then, his phone suddenly beeped and interrupted him. He immediately got a call. Looking at the number, it was actually from me. Wow, are scammers really this bold these days? Wang Yixu angrily answered the call, and then heard me sounding frantic on the other end. Wang, gorgeous lady, when did I ever scam you? I delivered the goods last night. They're parked on the empty lot outside the villa. A mecha that's 500 centimeters tall. Something that huge. Did you really not see it? Or are you pretending not to? I'm speechless. I've called you over 20 times all morning. You really are something. Wang Yixu was momentarily stunned. He was the one about to lose his temper. How did it turn around all of a sudden? And what's with this 500 centimeter thing? He hurriedly switched to the chat interface, and then discovered, when he ordered the other day, he made a mistake and added an extra zero. It was supposed to be a 50 centimeter mecha, but 500 centimeters means that giant thing outside the villa wrapped in the red cloth was actually the mecha he ordered? Wang Yixu gasped sharply. Once he figured that out, all of Wang Yixu's frustration disappeared. He even started speaking more politely. I'm not going to refund your money, and you still have to pay me the rest. Otherwise, I'll call and harass you every day, and I'll hire a lawyer to sue you. I'm not letting this go. I was clearly getting anxious. I interrupted him right away. No. Master Su, I'm not going to stiff you. Once I'm done here, I'll transfer you the balance. That's more like it. The mecha's activation and data tracking have their own mobile app. I've sent it to you. Accept it. Once I hung up, Wang Yixu was left dazed. Looks like I wronged Master Su. But this 5-meter tall mecha was finished in less than 2 days. Could it really look any good? Whatever, being able to finish it is already impressive. The call wasn't on speaker just now, but everyone around could mostly hear what was going on. Wang Ning glanced out the window, thinking building something this big must be totally sloppy work. It's probably just a pile of scrap metal welded together. Just barely resembles a mecha. I've seen lots of crappy models like this. There's no way it could compare to the fine models I bought from the States. His eyes shifted.
He smiled and said, "Yiksu, sis."
Looks like your gift is pretty nice too. Before the birthday banquet starts, let's go take a look first. Grandpa, would you like to see it now? Wang Yixu was feeling a bit down, actually hoping to check it out after the guests left. It's better to embarrass yourself in front of family than in front of 100 guests. Oh, let's just go take a look. It'll only take a few minutes. Wang Ning started stirring things up next to them. Fine, let's go see. Old Wang laughed heartily, leading everyone toward the empty lot outside the villa. Wang Yixu followed at the end, her mind in turmoil. Standing under the Mecha's feet wrapped in red cloth, Wang Yixu wished she could disappear into a hole. Yixu sis, what are you spacing out for? Hurry up and pull off the red cloth, Wang Ning urged, impatient to see Wang Yixu embarrassed. Little Yixu, as long as it's a gift from you, Grandpa will like it. Go ahead, Wang Lao said. Let's see it, beautiful Yixu. Hurry and show everyone. The guests also started chiming in. Wang Yixu took a deep breath. Here goes nothing. She gripped the corner of the red cloth and yanked it hard. The red cloth slid off. A red mecha, gleaming with a cold metallic shine, appeared, towering over everyone. It instantly came into view before the crowd. Its dominating presence was completely overwhelming. The body sharply defined, with a powerful cool design, and a massive railgun mounted on the shoulder, completely blew everyone's minds. Wang Ning, who was ready for a good laugh, suddenly trembled all over.
His pupils contracted wildly.
With a thud, he slumped to the ground. He looked completely out of it. People crowded around, all looking up at the crimson mecha. There were plenty of young people present, their eyes sparkling as they stared at the mecha. Mechas are every man's true passion, Wang Ning muttered blankly. Could this really be real? No matter how real it looks, it's still fake. Even the Americans couldn't build one. So how could China do it? The entire manor was awestruck. Elder Hua cleared his throat. He tugged at Elder Wang, pulling the equally dumbfounded me aside. Zhao Yixu, tell Grandpa Hua honestly. Where did you get this mecha? Wang Yixu looked a bit dazed, only reacting after a moment. Grandpa Hua, what if I said I paid 3 million and hired a welder to put this together? Would you think I was lying to you? Girl, don't say silly things. Good kids don't lie? Elder Hua frowned slightly. Grandpa Hua, I knew you wouldn't believe me. Wang Yixu pouted. So little Yixu, you're saying it was that Master Su who just called you in the villa, who welded this together? Old Wang knew very well Wang Yixu never lies. That guy goes by Su Fan, and he's a top-level welder. Wang Yixu nodded. The two elders of the science community exchanged glances, both full of doubt. This mecha clearly surpasses anything that's just a model. The aerodynamics, the vector thrusters on the back, are even more advanced than those on the USF-119 engine. The railgun on the shoulder doesn't look like a dummy either. By now, more and more people were gathering around. Everyone was staring at the cockpit on the mecha's chest. Get in the cockpit. Get in the cockpit. Someone started chanting. Wang Ning was helped up by a servant, slowly recovering from the shock. He was convinced this was just my little trick. A model is just a model. As soon as the cockpit opens, it'll definitely be full of junk. He smirked. Everyone, don't get too excited. Yixu will definitely open the cockpit. She won't let you down. Right, Yixu sis? Wang Yixu could only brace herself and give it a try. She pulled out her phone, found the app Master Su sent over, installed and ran it with one click. As the program started, a series of mechanical clanking sounds came from inside the mecha. It even has a sound system installed, all just to show off. Really went all out. Wang Ning scoffed under his breath. Be careful, Zhao Yixu. Old Wang felt something was off. Those mechanical link sounds were way too realistic. Wang Yixu noticed that only the start button was on the interface. She held her breath. She gently tapped the driving authorization. Confirmation complete. Coolant injection complete. Mini hydrogen engine startup complete. Phased array situational awareness system activated. Junction 1 mech. First activation. Successfully scanned the pilot. The mech's dual eyes emitted a red glow. Wang Yixu's position was confirmed. Immediately, the huge mechanical arms, half dragged, half lifted Wang Yixu up to its chest. As the airlock opened with a hiss, Wang Yixu hadn't even reacted yet. When she was sent into the cockpit, the hatch closed. Wang Yixu held the holographic helmet in her hands, staring at the unfamiliar controls and holographic display ahead. She was totally stunned. That money was really well spent. Definitely worth it below the mech. Wang Ning was the first to be shocked. The cockpit felt extremely futuristic inside. Even her arms could move freely. This was way beyond his understanding. Fly, fly. The 100+ people cheered as if on steroids. Wang Yixu put on the holographic helmet. The view in front of her instantly changed. All obstacles became transparent. Could a welder really have built this? The sounds outside were transmitted into the cockpit in real time. Wang Yixu started to get excited too. Her small hand slowly reached for the control lever. Mr. Wang picked up the phone that had fallen. He found the screen was linked to the cockpit's cameras. When he saw the data on the screen, Wang Yixu pressed the climb button. I don't believe this thing can actually fly, Wang Ning complained loudly below. A pile of scrap metal with a sound system. Yet suddenly, a blaring alarm sounded. Warning, the mech is about to enter takeoff mode. All bystanders, please evacuate immediately. A blast wave rapidly spread out from the mech's center. Fine vector thrusters all over the mech simultaneously blasted out pink flames. The ground rumbled. Yixu, what's happening? Mr. Wang yelled into his phone. Grandpa, it's taking off. Wang Yixu's voice trembled. Mr. Wang's heart skipped a beat. Even the exoskeletons at their research institute can't run properly. And this mech is actually about to fly. Evacuate everyone from Cloudtop Manor immediately. Seal off Yunlai Mountain. There's no time move. Mr. Wang shouted orders to the security guards. The scene turned both orderly and chaotic. The last pre-flight checks echoed in Wang Yixu's ears. Miniature vector ports, normal. Shoulder railguns, normal. Junction 1, ready for launch. With a thunderous boom, the entire manor shook violently. The mech's engine flames shifted from pink to blue. A fierce sense of acceleration hit. Under everyone's gaze, Junction 1 burst into flames and shot skyward, rushing straight into the sky. Holy crap, the mech model can really fly. Wang Yixu totally lost it. There really are mechs in this world. Elder Hua was dumbfounded. Mr. Wang, what do you make of this? Hell if I know, I'm watching from the ground like you. Even Mr. Wang couldn't help but curse. Right at that moment, a sharp sonic boom tore through the sky above. It was like the sky had ripped open. The sonic boom jolted Mr. Wang's thin body. On the ground, the red mech climbed rapidly. A clear conical vapor trail formed behind it. Am I hallucinating or something? Did I just see it break the sound barrier? Don't ask me, maybe I'm deaf now too. Elder Hua was so excited he could barely speak. Even a vertical climb can reach supersonic speeds. Newton's rolling in his grave. At that moment, the worldviews of two top scientists completely shattered. A welder making a mech? Stop joking. But the shocking truth was right before their eyes. In the sky, the mech gradually turned into a black dot. The wind noise from the phone grew even fiercer. The data tracking in the lower right corner started jumping crazily. Current mode. New mech mode anti-gravity, vertical climb, and stealth. Total thrust, 434 kilonewtons and rising. Body temperature, 141 degrees Celsius. Speed, Mach 1.357. Status, all systems normal. Are you serious? They call this normal? Are you kidding me? Mr. Wang and Elder Hua gasped in shock. Their eyes almost popped out. In the blink of an eye, temperature had risen to 195 degrees Celsius. Speed reached Mach 1.94, almost twice the speed of sound. Mr. Wang's eyes were filled with worry, even fear. At such high temperatures, can the circuits take it? The pilot can't stand this either. Yixu, are you okay? Grandpa, he's flying so high. I'm so scared. Signal lost. The sound stopped abruptly. The last image froze at 209 degrees Celsius and Mach 2 speed. Mr. Wang's hands suddenly trembled.
He looked at Elder Hua.
The signal was probably lost because it entered the clouds. We need to get back to base immediately. Have the tech team copy this TP link. Research server. Communications under soldier escort. Mr. Wang rushed to the research base. Clear skies stretch on. Inside the clouds, Wang Yixu sat wrapped tightly in the cockpit seat. Her heart couldn't calm down. The comms outage made her even more afraid. Wang Yixuan took deep breaths, trying to steady herself. She forced herself to think rationally. Her view was completely blocked by a sea of white clouds. Data panel showed body temperature at 240 degrees Celsius. Speed, Mach 2.3. The outside of the mech has already reached 240 degrees. But inside I can't feel a thing. Speed is over twice the speed of sound. As Wang Yixu analyzed, the mech suddenly shot out of the clouds, looking out across the endless ocean of clouds hovering in the sky, vast and misty as smoke. The visual shock from the Zhuanzang helmet made Wang Yixu feel like she was walking on clouds. Much of her fear faded away. She gripped both control levers, trying to pilot the runaway Junction 1. At the Shanghai Research Base, the main briefing hall was tense. Dozens of experts were gathered. They couldn't even hack the PP on my phone, let alone transfer or install it elsewhere. Tong Yao felt utterly wronged under Mr. Wang and Elder Hua's fierce stares. Her heart was full of grievance. After analyzing the code,
He realized this was nothing like conventional programming.
the programming was at least 10 times more advanced than anything in the world. Forget it, just mirror the phone on the big screen. Chatterbox, is the military satellite ready? Ready. Starting to receive the signal. Tong Yao's fingers flew across the keyboard. A line appeared on the big screen. Tian Shu. Satellite signal is connecting. Elder Hua patted Mr. Wang on the shoulder, signaling him not to be too upset. He understood clearly. The mech wasn't built with any thermal protection. If the temperature exceeds 200 degrees Celsius, the pilot's survival rate is almost zero. Of course Mr. Wang knew that. He was even more anxious than anyone. But he could only stare at the screen. Blue Star's atmosphere. The mech is experiencing intense friction with the air. The entire machine is glowing red hot. Wang Yixu does her best to control it. But the speed only increases rather than slows down. Temperature, 501 degrees Celsius. Speed, Mach 5. The mech has flown out of the middle layer. It's about to reach the Forbidden's orbit. If this keeps up, I'll end up dying in outer space. Wang Yixu takes off the holographic helmet. She looks around, searching for the emergency stop button, but finds nothing. Such an advanced mech. Doesn't it even have an intelligent assistance system? As if in response, Wang Yixu's mechanical voice sounds. Driver has not performed proper operations for a long time. Novice intelligent assistance system activated. Details of the operating procedures have been sent. Holographic helmet. Wang Yixu quickly puts the helmet back on. In the blink of an eye, dozens of the mech's vector nozzles fire at full power. The back engine bursts out a blue Mach flame. Orbital speed, Mach 4.7, Mach 3.5, until the mech hovers in place. The mech comes to a steady stop at the Forbidden's orbit. Wang Yixu lets out a long sigh of relief. She looks ahead. Her pupils tremble sharply. A sapphire blue planet wrapped in a bluish mist lies amidst the deep and lonely expanse of space. Is this Earth? It's really beautiful. Wang Yixu is mesmerized. She doesn't notice. The small speaker icon in the lower left corner has been flashing for over 10 minutes. She was too absorbed to notice. The small speaker icon in the lower left corner has been flashing for more than 10 minutes. Well, is the connection up yet? Grandpa Wang asks for the 8th time. Not unless they agree. The connection can't go through. Tong Yao patiently explains. The hall is dead silent. Everyone knows in their hearts. Chances are, there's no one alive left in that mech. It's harsh, but it's reality. Grandpa Wang, the cell phone call log is unlocked. Tong Yao suddenly shouts. We've got. That's Su Shifu's number. Dial immediately. Sorry, the number you dialed is out of service due to unpaid bills. Tong Yao grits her teeth and tops up 50 yuan in phone credit. Redial sorry. The number you dialed is busy. This guy blocks unfamiliar numbers. Check his IP and pull up his personal information. Grandpa Wang gives a decisive wave. 5 minutes later, Tong Yao stops typing. Her expression turns incredibly strange. According to the computer display, his name is Su Tai Bang. His current location is. He shudders all over, takes a deep breath, and tugs hard on his short hair. What's wrong, Tong Yao? Where is he? Professor Hua urges. Grandpa Wang, we can't go to this place. The computer says he's on the moon. All the experts are stunned. Tong Yao, looking aggrieved, checks again. Her expression spasms uncontrollably. She scratches the back of her head bald from stress. Boss, he's in the M78. Nebula, Grandpa Wang roars. So overwhelmed he's trembling all over. One moment it's the moon. The next it's deep space. Is this Su Taibang really Ultraman Tiga? Mecha Shangtian no. One has been successfully connected. A sudden voice booms out. On the big screen, a vast starry sky and a giant blue planet instantly appear. Reflected in the holographic helmet, Grandpa Wang sees his granddaughter's pure face. Thank goodness, Zhao Yixu is safe. Grandpa, can you hear me? I just noticed the connection request. I was doing the beginner's practice earlier. A familiar voice rings out. Grandpa Wang is moved to tears. At this moment he's no scientific leader, just an ordinary old man. The command hall erupts with deafening cheers. Someone in China has developed a manned space mech. What does this really mean? Everyone understands deep down. Grandpa Wang and Professor Hua keep their emotions steady. Zhao Yixu, on your way up in the mech, you must have experienced extreme heat and cold, right? It's good you made it through. The cockpit temperature has been the same the whole time. Maybe around 25 degrees Celsius. It's pretty comfortable. What? Grandpa Wang drops his phone in surprise. He picks up the receiver. Catching his breath, he confirms. Zhao Yixu, you were wearing denim shorts and a tank top. And you didn't feel any change in temperature. Yeah, is there something wrong with that? Grandpa Wang's mouth goes dry. The mech's outer layer isn't insulated at all. It's just some kind of alloy painted red. How does it keep the temperature constant? Professor Hua and the rest of the scientists are stunned too. Grandpa Wang tries to calm his shock. Zhao Yi, learning to operate a mech isn't something you can pick up right away. Check first if there's an automatic return button. I know, I'm in the beginner's training right now. I think I'll finish it in about 10 minutes. Then I'll just fly Shangtian-1 back. Wang Yixu tilts her delicate chin slightly upward, like a kid showing off how well she did. Grandpa Wang spits out a mouthful of water. Beginner's training? This isn't a mobile game like King of Glory. How can she master it just by training? Oh, Grandpa, it's the same idea. My Shangtian-1 is super smart. I've only practiced a little, but I can already fly it while singing, dancing, and rapping. She sings, dances, and raps. As a top scientist, Grandpa Wang can't believe his granddaughter outsmarted him in his own field. His blood pressure keeps spiking with anger. So can you check the fuel? Make sure you don't get stranded. There are 10 bars in total. Now there are still 9 left. Grandpa Wang is completely shocked. From Earth to space, she only used 1/20th of the fuel? At that moment, Wang Yixu suddenly shouts, Grandpa, I just found another backup energy icon. It shows 50 bars, much more than the first one. Grandpa Wang's eyes roll back instantly, and he falls straight backward. What was that sound? Wang Yixu can't see the screen. She only hears something heavy fall. Grandpa, what's wrong? Grandpa, Zhao Yixu. I'm okay, Grandpa's fine. I just probably talked too long. I need a little oxygen. Don't worry. Professor Hua's steady voice comes through the headset. Okay, then please help look after my grandpa for me. I'll give you a ride in the mech when I fly back. I'm going to keep doing the beginner's training now. Call ended. Professor Hua is seen directing the staff to put a nasal oxygen tube on Grandpa Wang. Professor Hua knows. This is just Grandpa Wang's old problem of getting too emotional. Just rest a bit and he'll be fine. With Grandpa Wang settled,
He keeps watching Wang Yixu's actions.
Wang Yixu adjusts her holographic helmet slightly, looking at the new beginner tutorial that pops up. Current training module. Start limb synchronization training. Next module. Orbital railgun target practice. Let's begin. Wang Yixu clenches her fists. Her eyes are determined. A few kilometers away from Wang Yixu, the American Eagle space station floats along the Forbidden's orbit. The airlock door clicks lightly. Megan, wearing a white spacesuit, leans out to gaze at the stars ahead. Megan, don't block the door. Come out already. Chase pushes him from behind. Megan overcomes weightlessness and floats outside the module. This is their 27th spacewalk together. They are leaning against the exterior node, admiring the view when suddenly, Megan points at a distant red dot. What's that thing? Spacewalk. Leaning against the node module's outer wall, enjoying the view. Suddenly, Megan points at a red dot in the distance. What is that? Wasn't there before, right? It's probably a recent satellite launch from Russia or China.
Ignore it.
But why does it look like it's dancing? Anjui follows his gaze. His scalp instantly tingles. A vague outline appears. A red humanoid mech is striking all sorts of poses. It's absolutely shocking. The two stare at each other in terror. Looking again, the red mech is now motionless. Anjui finally breathes a sigh of relief. Suddenly, two red bursts of light shoot from the mech's shoulders, passing right by their sides. Racing toward the geosynchronous orbit, two violent explosions erupt in the vacuum. Two satellites are instantly blown to pieces, falling into the atmosphere. What's going on? Oh my god, what just happened? Anjui's mind goes blank. Megan's pupils shake in utter shock. His jaw trembles uncontrollably. Oh no, something really bad has happened. Aliens are attacking Earth. We have to report this to the Aerospace Agency immediately. Earth could be in danger of destruction. This is absurd. Outside the Aerospace Agency headquarters, 3-star General Paul slams his desk. Anjui and Megan, these two guys, have gone clueless in outer space. There's no such thing as aliens. It's definitely a conspiracy. Contact Puerto Rico immediately. Use the over-the-horizon radio telescope to check. What is that thing? A few minutes later, several blurry photos are laid out on Paul's desk. It's indeed a real Mecha. Paul's face is dark and tense. His expression shows rejection. Lingering horror remains. This technological level is 10 times beyond current capabilities. It could easily destroy the space station, or even accurately target the White House with ease. Paul shivers.
He decisively grabs the phone.
This is the Secretary of Defense's office. May I ask who's calling? This is Paul. I have urgent SS-level military news. Please transfer me to General Austin. Middle C is a research base. Professor Hua is staring at the big screen. Seeing Wang Yixu seems to be done. He guides and asks, Yixu, how are you feeling? I can actually drive it now, at least basically. Geez, Grandpa Hua, you're so naggy. Didn't I already say it just now? I finished the novice tutorial, so now I can basically pilot Zhangshan 1. Haha, the little girl is getting impatient. Professor Hua laughs and continues asking, by the way, I saw you controlling the Mecha earlier, attacking something way off in the distance. Are you talking about the shoulder railgun? I just picked 2 random spots for practice. Target shooting or something? Target shooting in outer space. Professor Hua's eyes instantly widen. Hey, Yixu, you said you just picked 2 random targets to shoot at? Where did you get them? I had the Mecha's quantum phased array radar randomly lock onto 2 moving targets. Both shots hit. There should be image records. Let me check. I opened the real-time log. Images instantly showed up on the big screen. Professor Hua and the research expert's pupils contract sharply. All step back in unison. Those were actually Musk's Starlink satellites. Yixu, you destroyed 2 of those things with your shots. Professor Hua trembles as he asks. Yeah, I was in a hurry to train in other areas, so I fired 2 rounds. Actually, the Mecha locked onto over 500 at the time. Just hit the 2 closest targets. Didn't shoot more. Professor Hua can't take it anymore. If you destroyed over 500, Starlink's operators would absolutely go crazy. How about this, Grandpa Hua? I'll hit a few more for you right now. Like fireworks. Looks really beautiful. No, please, my little star. Put your powers away. Professor Hua's heart races wildly, afraid Wang Yixu might blow up the International Space Station too. Listen to Grandpa Hua. Come back right away. Your grandfather is still in the medical bay. Okay then, I'll come to the Middle Sea base to find you guys. Wang Yixu takes hold of the control stick. System audio sounds in her ear. Intelligent assisted driving system activated. Destination, Middle Sea Military Research Base. Recommend switching to normal mode. Estimated travel time, 20 minutes, obviously. Of course, switch to current mode. Normal junction. 1 launches. Wang Yixu gives the command. The Mecha bursts into brilliant blue flames, instantly disappearing onto the restricted orbit. Andri goes out again with an optical electronic telescope. Why are you dawdling? If you're not looking, give me the telescope. No, that thing disappeared. Andri shudders. The two look at the vast emptiness of space and fall into confusion, more convinced it's an alien invasion. Scared, just wanting to return to Earth. More convinced it's an alien invasion. Scared, just wanting to return to Earth. Japan's Defense Investigation Section. Makoto Ito listens to the report, brow tightly furrowed. Katori Taro, so you're saying you really saw Gundam? It flew right past your windshield. Section Chief Ito, please believe me. I swear I'm not lying. Katori Taro is nervous and uneasy. If you're found to be lying, you'll lose your job and be prosecuted. Makoto Ito hands over a business card. I have a friend with expertise in human psychology. Go pay a visit. The card says Osaka Mental Health Recovery Center. Bakayero, your whole family has issues. Katori Taro storms out, angry. Chinese airspace. A red light streaks downward with a golden tail. Yiksu, slow down. Slow down inside Middle Sea Research Center. Professor Hua looks at the panel showing Mach 4.1, yelling madly. 4 times the speed of sound. You'll make a hole in the Earth's crust at this speed. I'm in a hurry to see Grandpa. Don't worry, Grandpa Hua. He hung up Zap. Wang Yixu deliberately cuts the signal. Professor Hua shakes his head helplessly. This Mecha's technology is decades ahead. Return safely. Chinese technology will leap forward. In the sky, Wang Yixu pilots the Mecha through thick, dark clouds. Even lightning can't match her speed. Wang Yixu glances at the panel. Speed Mach 5.7. And still increasing. Not exactly slow, right? Wang Yixu feels intense weightlessness. Senses this is far from the Mecha's limit. Just as she's diving toward the ground, the air defense radar at the Middle Sea base suddenly lights up. Alarm sirens blaring throughout the city. Alert. Suspected incoming intercontinental missile carrying nuclear warhead. Everyone must evacuate to civil defense shelters within 3 minutes. The whole city falls into panic. Inside the research base, Professor Hua suddenly sits up. Sharp gaze. Quickly connect to the Air Defense Department. The base has been locked onto by enemy intercontinental missiles, highly likely to carry high-yield nuclear warheads. Citywide alert has already been issued. Old Hua's scalp tingles. Intercontinental missile. Could it be the Americans? But why didn't the early warning system detect it in advance? Advanced detection. No time to chat now. You should quickly go to the air raid shelter. Researchers dragged Old Hua away. At this moment, Old Wang walked over quickly. Old Wang, do you have any guesses? Is there anything to guess? It must be the mech returning. Countless people suddenly froze. Old Hua was stunned too, frozen in place, thinking. The accuracy of this statement. That does seem to be the only possibility. Thinking of this, Old Hua slapped his thigh sharply. He picked up the phone to contact the Air Defense Department. Has the Kangshin system been activated? The Kangshin system is already in the startup process. Final approval is underway. Once approval is complete, it will fully deploy. Countless people on site gasped. Once the Zangshin system is launched, it could bury the heavens. It's similar to the Bear Nation's Dead Hand system. This is the ultimate nuclear counterattack force of Xie country. Any detected nuclear strike within Xia's borders will automatically activate within 1 minute. As long as it passes 3 approvals, all nuclear missiles will be launched. Humanity will be forced back to the Stone Age. Quick, before all 3 approvals go through, report immediately. It will be too late if you wait any longer. Old Wang suddenly shouted. Old Hua quickly dialed. That's number 001. Special red communication channel. Every time this number gets connected, it means something earth-shattering has happened. Old Wang moved to the window, looking out at the looming disaster over the land. The countdown kept sounding. Luckily, doomsday hasn't come. Old Wang finally let out a long sigh. Pharaoh hung up the phone. Relief filled his expression.
He has already reported the situation to his superiors.
This alarm will be classified as a drill. Living in peaceful times. How fortunate. Suddenly, a piercing sonic boom sliced through the air. The glass trembled. The flower pot on the windowsill shattered to pieces. In the report hall, people's eyes flickered with shock and doubt. What's going on? Wasn't it a system fault? Could it really be the end of the world? No, I don't want to die. I'm still a virgin. Can't I at least experience the bitterness of love first? I don't want to die. I'm still a virgin. Can I at least experience love's pain before I die? Countless eyes suddenly turned to Master Liu. The air fell silent. No one expected that the steady machinery master would say something like this. Master Liu felt the gazes.
His face turned red.
He's probably wishing doomsday would come now, just to escape this embarrassing scene. Old Wang is most familiar with this vibration. It's the resonance when a super high-power engine approaches. Alright, let's go check out our junction note 1. Old Wang and Old Hua led the way out of the hall. They came to the outdoor open area. That's the base's largest test flight field. With a loud whoosh, a rush of strong air blasted out. Tong Yao, who is petite, was nearly blown over. Old Wang looked up at the sky, hands tightly clasped. The group of scientists widened their eyes even more. The red dot grew quickly in everyone's eyes. A powerfully intimidating mech descended from the sky. Waves of air spread out. A hot blast crashed down. The ultimate visual shock stunned everyone. Some people were so fascinated. They dropped to their knees before the mech with a thud, standing beside the 5-meter-tall mech. Its sharp edges and railgun atop its shoulder ignited everyone's passion. This is a man's romance. The cockpit opened. Wang Yixu waved. Old Wang noticed her face. Pale, little Yixu. Come down quickly. Got it. Her grandpa used the mech arm to lift her down. She was wearing denim shorts and a black tank top, sunny and full of energy, perfectly matched with the mech. Yixu, what's wrong? Old Wang asked with concern. I'm fine. The dive was just too fast. Almost couldn't stop. Feeling a bit carsick. No? Mech sick? Wang Yixu ran to the side. Vomited a lot. Everyone's expressions instantly stiffened. The mech goddess gets dizzy. The mech master is in a great mood. He waved his big hand. Get ready to run mechanical structure performance tests on the mech. Contact Dr. Chun right away. He specializes in machinery. He's an expert in precision casting and materials science. Hearing about Dr. Chun, Tong Yao frowned. As for that overseas returnee, that high-paid and dishonest fake foreigner, he doesn't like him at all. Returned from abroad. That high-paid and dishonest fake foreigner, he doesn't like him at all.
10 minutes later.
Jiang Shenno. One enters the indoor testing field. Little Yixu, Grandpa wants to ask you something serious. Tell me the truth. Where did this Junction No. 1 mech actually come from? I just hired a welder to make it. As a birthday present for Grandpa. His name is Su Fan. He's a welder. And a student at Shanghai National Defense Technology University.
His name is Su Fan.
Not Su Timan, right? Old Wang turned to Tong Yao. Tong Yao shrank her neck. No, his name is really Su Fan. He's sunny and handsome. Just a bit hot-tempered. Wang Yixu muttered. Old Wang pondered. A college student. Works part-time as a welder. Hand-built a mech. So little Yixu, did you ask him months ahead to build the mech? Not months ahead. Just the day before yesterday. Lying isn't good, little Yixu. Old Wang cleared his throat. Grandpa, I'm really not lying. Check our chat history if you don't believe me. Or call him yourself. After the test is done, I'll take you to Master Su's house. In the blink of an eye, half an hour passed. Dr. Chun still isn't here. Old Wang is getting impatient. Let Dr. Chen's apprentice Zhang Liang check structure strength. The analysis machine's mechanical arm touched the mech's ankle. On the rear transmission axle, structural strength check progress, 49. Where resistance check progress, 50. Precision check progress, 8. Zhang Ling was breathing heavily. He's tested top-level machine tools before. But this mech in front of him made him extremely nervous. Everyone held their breath, waiting for the data. Ding, structural strength cannot be measured. Everyone collectively widened their eyes. Did the machine break down? Chatty, this transmission structure really is surprising. There's only one reason it can't be measured. Its structural strength exceeds anything on Earth. Any type of forged mechanical structure. Structural strength surpasses any forged material on Earth. Mechanical construction. Elder Wang's voice trembled. Everyone gasped in shock. Even an ankle drive shaft is this strong. A shell couldn't hurt it at all. If you tried to take it head-on, who could win? Where resistance undetectable, precision undetectable. Elder Wang was struck like thunder. Explain to everyone. This means the internal atomic structure is extremely unique. We have no way to detect it. This material isn't even worthy of the Nobel Prize. Elder Wang burst out laughing. Tears of joy streamed down his face. There is hope for our country's rise. As long as this material is widely used, military industry will leap generations ahead. Then Dr. Chan arrived in his Maybach. He exclaimed at the beauty of the model as soon as he entered. He insisted it had to be German-made. Dr. Chan, the name of this mech is Skyfall 1. It was made by our own Xia country. If you like foreign stuff so much, just leave. Xia country doesn't welcome you. Tong Yao sneered. Dr. Chan became furious, but was completely silenced by the evidence in Tong Yao's hand. Elder Wang tried to smooth things over with a smile. Informed everyone that the test results were undetectable. That can't be. Little Zhang, did you forget to calibrate the equipment? I think the machine's malfunctioning. Dr. Chen snorted coldly. Master, the equipment was fine at lunch. Zhang Ling retorted. Are you telling me what to do? Dr. Chen shot him a glare, then turned to the crowd and scoffed. It has to be the equipment. Let's use something else to test it, so everyone can stop hoping. He pulled out a pulse ray analyzer the size of a wash basin, attached it to the mech's ankle. Beep, beep, beep. This builds where resistance is out of detection range. Machining precision exceeds equipment limit by 0.8 microns. Comprehensive structural strength rating, 389. For reference, tungsten steel, 17. Graphene, 24. Dr. Chun's mind went blank. His worldview was completely shattered. For reference, tungsten steel, 17. Graphene, 24. Dr. Chun's mind went blank. His worldview was completely shattered. Little Zhang, do you know the core skeleton strength rating of Eagle General's F-22? It's just 12 for the engine. Precision is about 1 micron. All in all, Eagle General's F-22 compared to this mech is as brittle as paper. With just a word from Elder Wang, the whole crowd was stunned. If we build 10 more of these mechs, prime ministers, presidents, killing them would be as easy as drinking water. No, that's impossible. My judgment can't be wrong. It's the equipment's fault. Dr. Chen became agitated. Domestic equipment just can't handle it. We'll have to buy imported ones in the future. Apprentice Zhang Liang clenched his fists. This is blatant betrayal. A lapdog who worships foreigners and betrays the country. After kneeling so long, he's scared of standing up, right? I'll send you back to your Eagle General Master right now. Never come back. An angry voice from Wang Yixu echoed above the mech. The mech's eyes immediately lit up red. A mechanical voice boomed out. Skyfall 1 mech successfully activated. Standing by for deployment. Dr. Chan's scalp tingled with fear. How is it alive? Ask your Eagle General Master in your next life. Wang Yixu controlled the mech and grabbed Dr. Chan in her hand. Dr. Chan screamed in terror. Elder Wang, please save me. I'm a pillar of the nation. Elder Wang and Elder Hua, meanwhile, began discussing engine principles for some reason. As if they didn't hear a thing, the surrounding researchers got busy. No one paid attention to Dr. Chun's hysterical shouts. The mech made an even more unsettling noise for Dr. Chun. Body power stabilized. Engine tuning complete. Shoulder railgun operational. High-frequency particle blade mounted and ready. Beam weapon Dragoon system not mounted. Final check complete. 3, 2, 1, Skyfall 1. Launches with a wave of air. 10 engines burst with azure flames. Endless Mach rings appeared at the exhaust tails. With a deep sonic boom, the mech broke the sound barrier and shot into the sky. Blue flames. Mach rings appeared at the flame tails. With a deep sonic boom, the mech broke the sound barrier and shot into the sky. Hey, Dr. Chun. Where did he go? Elder Wang looked at Elder Hua, looking puzzled. No idea. Probably went to have some fun again. He really doesn't look like a scientist at all. Elder Hua pouted. Tong Yao, call him and ask. Elder Wang instructed seriously. Okay. Tong Yao hesitated for a moment, then laughed to herself. Calling means it has to be a proper scene. Have to go all in. Meanwhile, more than 10 Dongfeng warriors sped toward the base. In the passenger seat, Li Gozhong saw a call from his arch-rival, Old Kong. he answered with a grim face. Lolly. Good morning. Old Kong sneered sarcastically over the phone. Heard your southern military district lacks firepower. As a brother unit, we can lend you 2 exoskeleton suits. Should be enough to show off. But no thanks. Li Gozhang's temple twitched, and he hung up immediately. Full speed ahead. Li Gozhang shouted into the intercom as they reached the base. Everyone, straighten your backs. Elder Wang and Elder Hua are the backbone of our nation. Typhoons howled over the Pacific Ocean. Gigantic waves blocked out the sky. Even Eagle General's F-22 wouldn't dare operate here. Amid the raging currents, a fiery red mech crashed through 100-meter waves and surfaced. Wang Yixu was carefully protecting the barely breathing Dr. Chen in her hands. An hour later, Eagle General's Alaska Wilderness. The mech landed stably in a valley. Wang Yixu set Dr. Chen down on a huge rock. Let half her body out. Dr. Chen, didn't you like your Eagle General Master? It only took me an hour to send you here. No need to thank me. Goodbye, Clank. The hatch closed. The mech vanished into the distant sky. Dr. Chen sat there in a daze, then shuddered with cold. Dear God, this place is way too desolate. You can't do this to me. Hearing the wild animals howling nearby,
He lost control of himself again.
could only sit on the rock and pray for Bear Grylls' blessing. Sitting on the rock, praying for Bear Grylls' blessing. On the way back, Wang Yixu shot straight into space. This route saves 10 minutes. Earlier, she didn't go this way because she was worried Dr. Chen couldn't handle the atmospheric pressure. The red mech drew a thundering boom at suborbital altitude. Eagle General's Air Defense Department went into chaos. Radar showed an unknown target in Alaska, ascending at 5 times the speed of sound. The Secretary of Defense even cursed out the space agency by phone, and even reported it to General Austin at the Pentagon. Suspect there's a traitor among us. Entrance of the Shanghai base. Li Gozhang leads over 20 officers into the hall. Seeing the 2 elders, they immediately stand to greet them. He runs forward anxiously. Old Wang and Old Hua, please, you two, don't flatter me like that. Li Gozhang nervously shakes their hands. When you two served in the army, I wasn't even born yet. After some small talk, everyone heads to the open ground. Li Gozhang looks very anxious. Old Wang, the military exercise is about to start. The Eastern Military District has prepared a secret weapon. What about our side? They have exoskeletons. We've made our own preparations too. Old Wang chuckles. Honestly, there's quite a gap between us. Old Wang smirks. Li Gozhang's face instantly turns grim. The officers behind him also hang their heads in defeat. The tech gap in cutting-edge weapons could decide everything. Li Gozhang clenches his fists, forces out a bitter smile. Even if Old Kong is a tiger, we'll break a couple of his teeth. Old Wang and Old Hua exchange glances, almost burst out laughing. That's the right attitude. You've got some real grit. Suddenly, an airflow surges from above. Clothes whip fiercely in the wind. Old Hua laughs, patting Li Gozhang on the shoulder. Gozhang, our secret weapon has arrived. Can't see it without me. Step back. Here he comes. Old Wang says in a low voice. The sky seems to be torn open. A fierce red light slams to the ground. A burst of brilliant blue flames erupts. A flaming red mech blots out the sun. A massive, overwhelming sense of presence. Li Gozhang's eyes nearly explode. He stares fixedly at this steel behemoth. His blood pressure skyrockets. Completely stunned. Raises his hand, blood pressure shoots up, totally baffled. All the officers behind him gape in unison. Their very souls feel swept away by this brutal aura. Thump, thump. Someone's legs give out, collapse and sit on the ground for quite a while. Li Gozhang finally stammers out in shock. Damn. It's actually a mech.
He blurts out as if possessed, can this thing actually fight?
Gozhang, you want to see a combat test, right? Old Wang grins and calls Wang Yixu. Wang Yixu smirks. He's already tried it on the Forbidden's track. He tested it long ago. Firing the railgun at targets looks as beautiful as fireworks. 20-odd minutes later, dedicated test range. Wang Yixu only needs 60 seconds to pilot the mech there. By the time they arrive, he's already taken a quick nap in the cockpit. Gozhang remains stubborn. Tianyuan currently has 4 types of weapons. Old Wang points at the mech to explain. Shoulder-mounted railgun, high-frequency particle blade. The energy weapon and dragoon system aren't installed yet. Li Gozhong is deeply moved. This tech utterly surpasses that of the Eagle General. When he hears, it was built by a student named Su Fan at Zhonghai Camp, in just 2 days by hand.
His mind goes blank.
He sees stars. All right, let's start with testing the high-frequency particle blade. Old Wang makes the call. Yixu, strike those scrap T-54 tanks head-on. Give them a few direct hits. Send over some photos. Slicing through tanks. Li Gozhong can't hold it together anymore. The T-54 has 10-centimeter thick alloy armor. Wang Yixu activates the plugin. Syncs all the holographic visuals for everyone. Leaders, watch this. He draws Tianyuan's blade. The blade powers up instantly. The ground bursts open with a massive shockwave. The mech leaps into the air like a shell. Midder. The particle blade flares up with a 4-meter blue glow. The earth shakes from the force. Li Gozhong stares fixedly at the screen. Particle blade versus tank armor. Which one is tougher? Which is really harder, the blade or the tank armor? The mech lands, charges up and swings diagonally. The ripple-like blade slices through the tank instantly. It actually pierces right through. Then orange flames erupt from the rear vector thrusters. The mech sweeps across horizontally, slices the tank in half within seconds. The tank collapses with a crash. The 10-centimeter cut is as smooth as a mirror. Li Gozhong's mind short-circuits his worldview. Absolutely shattered. With this thing, those little devils, the Emperor and the Eagle General President will have nightmares. Li Gozhong can't stop laughing. Gozhong, how's the particle blade's power? Old Hua jokes back with a smile. One more test, right? Test the railgun? Of course we're gonna test it. Li Gozhong is totally hyped. Wang Yixu locks onto the low hill 2 kilometers away. A red streak shoots right through the target. The ground trembles violently. Li Gozhong's head spins. Once the dust settles, he raises his binoculars to look. Completely dumbfounded. Where's the mountain? Where did it go? The target's gone. Even that whole little hill is gone. This shot is nearly as powerful as a small nuke. Li Gozhong falls backward in shock. The bodyguard rushes to steady him. Back in the hall, Li Gozhong gulps down 2 cups of tea. Struggling to keep his composure, he looks at Old Wang. Old Wang, I'd like to recruit Yixu. Old Wang's hand trembles as he holds his teacup. His expression freezes instantly. Old Wang has 3 sons. The eldest and second son went into business. His youngest followed in his footsteps and joined the army, but tragically died during a mission. Now, Li Gozhong suggests enlisting his most beloved granddaughter, Yixu. What if something happens to her too? How could this 70-year-old man who's given his life to the country? Go on? Li Gozhong instantly regrets saying it. He totally forgot. Oh, Wang. I'm just joking. How does a 70-year-old live? Li Gozhong immediately regretted what he said. He forgot about that. Oh, Wang. I was just joking. Let him enlist. Old Wang cut him off immediately. Let out a deep sigh of relief. Looked out the window. Yuzu was bouncing over, munching on a popsicle. The military drill is about to start. There's no time to train a new pilot. Yuzu has talent, and she knows the mech maker. She's the perfect candidate. But Li Gozhong, if you let her suffer any grievance, I'll hit you with a broom. I wouldn't dare. Gozhong laughed like a flower. Old Wang never goes back on his word. He means what he says. As for her father, I'll talk to him. Yuzu pushed the door open and walked in. Full of lively energy. Li Gozhong rubbed his hands and walked over to greet her. Yuzu, how do you feel piloting the mech? It was awesome. Super cool. But Uncle Li, your smile is a bit creepy. Gozhong straightened his face. Yuzu, would you like to drive the mech all the time? The country will cover maintenance. You might even use it for your daily commute in the future. Of course! Yuzu's eyes sparkled. Easy then, just fill out this form. And put your fingerprint on it. All the officers were stunned. Li Gozhong went all out to convince the girl. Totally shameless. Yuzu gave a sweet smile. Uncle Li, you want me to enlist as a pilot, right? I'm willing. Li Gozhong was taken aback. He thought to himself, she really is Old Wang's descendant. Always ready to serve the country. The special enlistment was set for tonight. After finishing the serious talk, Li Gozhong suddenly frowned. Old Wang, the mech's designer, is a college student. A welder. I think there's something fishy. Is it possible Yizu contacting Su Fan wasn't a coincidence? But that he was controlling her? Can hacking a phone really do that? Old Wang asked Tong Yao. It's possible, and for Su Fan it's very easy. Tong Yao looked serious. He remembered his frustration investigating Su Fan before, joking that it's like showing off in front of a master. Serious. He recalled his previous frustration investigating Su Fan, mocked himself for showing off in front of a master. Li Gozhong spoke firmly. The reason he did this was to quietly donate his hard work to the country for free. No, I approached him for the project. It only took 2 days. Yizu chimed in. Tong Yao explained. Even if you had asked for a tank, he would have gotten you a mech anyway. It was him controlling your phone. This made everything suddenly make sense for everyone. Li Gozhong's eyes turned red. What a good young comrade. In this materialistic era, there are so few heroes like him. Everyone nodded in agreement.
He built something so amazing.
But didn't seek fame or profit. He submitted it silently. Who could do that?
Yizu, how much did you pay him?
A total of 3 million. Still owe him 1.5 million. Truly a genius youth. Li Gozhong was emotional again. Making a mech like this must cost at least 10 million. Su Fan probably sold everything he had to make it. Quoting 3 million, maybe just to pay off debt. As soon as he said this, Su Fan's heroic figure instantly stood tall in everyone's mind. I'll transfer the money right now. Yizu wiped away her tears. No! Li Gozhong slammed the table. At a zero? We can't let our hero shed blood and tears. In a downtown rental apartment, I was lying on the bed when I got a bank alert for 15 million. I was so shocked I dropped my phone right into the wash basin. Yizu sent me a message asking if I got the money. You added an extra zero. I replied, it's what you deserve. I want to see you tomorrow. I thought, must be nice to be rich. Have to go on a blind date tomorrow. No time to see the little rich girl. At the research base, Li Gozhong heard I refused to meet. He looked like he totally expected it, trying to retire after his success. Yizu was frustrated. How can he be like this? Our little Yizu has never failed to find someone she wanted. Pharaoh and Old Wang exchanged looks nearby. Yizu clenched her fists. Her gaze was determined. You can dodge the first day, but not the 10th. I'll ask my bestie to track you down. The two elders and Uncle Li whispered among themselves. Even heroes fall for beauties. We absolutely can't skimp on the conditions promised. Even heroes fall for beauties. We absolutely can't skimp on the conditions. That night, Yizu officially enlisted. Meanwhile, news of the mech flying at the Cloudtop Manor dominated the trending searches online. Even though the video mysteriously disappeared quickly, the discussion was still through the roof. On the official live stream, director was sitting seriously. Regarding the mech topic, I solemnly clarify, it's completely fabricated. Director, who believes that? Comments flooded in. Seeing this, the director ended the stream instantly. Called Old Wang. Old Wang, it's done. This time you owe me a drink. The next day, I went on a blind date as my mom requested. The location was at Luxury Center, Champs Elysees No. 2. I had just entered the lobby and saw my blind date Liu Li posing for photos in front of a pile of designer shopping bags. Hello, I'm Su Fan. Liu Li glanced at me with disdain and fake smiled. Show me what you've got. If you perform well, I'll be your girlfriend. Help me pay for these bags too. She kept picking out bags and kept asking if they looked good. I actually bought them at the checkout counter. That'll be 115,000 in total. The cashier looked at me. Miss, who's paying? Who are you asking? Don't look at me. I shrugged. I'm not your sucker. Liu Li started screaming. Aren't you here for the blind date? If you buy all this, I'll give you a chance to date me. Yeah, right, girl. You're just looking for an ATM, aren't you? I turned and walked away. Liu Li clung desperately to my shirt. The shop manager, Manager Tan, hurried over. He sneered. Bro, chasing girls costs money. Just pay and apologize, and this will be over. Otherwise, you'll have to pay every penny for our lost time. The cashier girl wanted to speak up for me, but Manager Tan fired her on the spot. The sales girls around were angry but said nothing. I was about to call the police When screeching tires sounded outside the hall, Wang Yixu walked in. She spotted me right away. Sufan finally found you. She flashed a warm, sunny smile. Manager Tan recognized her as the heiress Wang Yixu. His face turned pale instantly. He forced himself to greet her. Wang Yixu didn't even look at her. She walked straight up to me, stood in front of me. You don't have time to see me. And come here instead. Walked right up to me. You don't have time to see me? What are you doing here? Manager Tan was completely stunned. Looks like this low-key guy is the young lady's boyfriend. And the type who chases after her. After Wang Yixu figured out the situation, her pretty face turned cold. Manager Tan, who gave you the guts to run a romance scam? This is fraud. Go explain it to the police. Liu Li collapsed to the ground, overcome with regret. She thought he was just a poor kid. Never expected he was truly extraordinary. Manager Tan looked utterly miserable. But deep down he was plotting how to pull some strings and get away. There was a flash of resentment in his eyes as he looked at us, seeing the usually arrogant Manager Tan getting put in his place. The sales staff around all clapped enthusiastically. They said straight out that Wang Yixu did a great thing. He tilted his chin at me, like a child showing off after scoring 100 on a test. Honestly, a bit adorable. Just then, the sound of screeching brakes came from outside again. With hurried footsteps, 8 armed soldiers quickly entered the hall. They took up strategic positions. Countless people gasped when they saw the gun barrels, faces full of panic. Even I was startled. Why are the military here? Wang Yixu noticed my confusion. I know these guards. They're here looking for you. Looking for me? I was a little baffled. The sales staff next to me opened their eyes wide in shock. Do I have some other amazing identity? Manager Tan also started to get a bad feeling. 2 elderly men, walking briskly, approached from outside. Grandpa! Grandpa Hua! Over here, Wang Yixu waved. As soon as I saw Wang Lao and Hua Lao, I immediately recognized them. I stood up straight, straightened my back. I'm a student at National Defense University. I deeply admired these pillars of the nation. When my father was alive, he hoped I could do research with them. Fulfilling my father's last wish is what motivates me. Sufan Wang Lao quickly walked up to me. Tell me, did you develop that thing for Yixu? Yes, I replied honestly. Good job. Wang Lao gripped both my arms tightly and shook me excitedly. He held my arms and shook me enthusiastically. Hueloa was full of praise too. So resilient, working for the country and the people. A pillar of the nation. I was a bit stunned. The mech I developed is pretty amazing. But isn't this kind of praise a bit over the top? I quickly tried to be modest. You flatter me. Really, it's too much. So humble. That's what it takes to accomplish big things. Not bad. The more Wang Lao looked at me, the more satisfied he was. The corner of my mouth twitched. I'm afraid there's some misunderstanding here. People nearby started to recognize the old gentleman. Exclamations of surprise echoed around. Liu Li, still sitting on the floor, looked deathly pale. Manager Tan looked even gloomier.
He was practically suffocating.
Things were looking really bad for him. At that moment, another commotion broke out outside. Accompanied by hearty laughter, a major general with shoulder insignia strode in. Which one is Young Su? Let me take a look. People nearby gasped again. Damn, even a major general is calling Su Fan brother? I'm totally shocked. Manager Tan's face turned sheet white in terror. His teeth were chattering fiercely. This time he's finished. Liu Li's eyes went vacant. She finally realized just what kind of powerhouse she'd messed with. Uncle Gozhong, why are you here? Wang Yixu called out. Little Yixu, since you're here. Of course I'm here too. Li Gozhong laughed heartily. He walked up to me, gave me a light punch. Good kid, I was a bit overwhelmed. This big brother Major General. Did you maybe mistake me for someone else? Before I could say anything, another large crowd surged in from behind. Wang Lao, Hua Lao, Commander Li. Hello, everyone. Hey, old Zhu, old Hong. You guys here for the excitement too? Obviously, everyone knew each other. Manager Tan's pupils trembled. Turns out these are all top officials of Shanghai. Both his legs gave out. His eyes rolled back. He totally fainted from fright. Liu Li sat there stupefied, like a clay statue. regretting her choices. After some polite exchanges, Manager Tan and Liu Li were taken away. Wang Yixu hit the gas and drove me back to the Shanghai Military Scientific Research Base. The indoor facility was 10 meters high, with Tenyuan parked quietly. I placed my hand on the mech's leg, feeling its familiar texture. Getting emotional inside? Jiang Shenwan sits quietly in place. I placed my hand on the mech's leg, feeling its familiar texture. My heart was full of feelings. Wang Lao stroked his beard and probed. Little Su, so young and already leading the development of advanced technology. Are your research assistants as young as you? Assistants? I don't have any. I stated honestly. Both elders were stunned, their eyes full of confusion. How could such a huge mech be developed solo? Wang Lao squinted slightly. He pointed at the mechanical ankle's thick actuator. Since there are no assistants, you must really know the mech inside and out. Can you introduce this section? Huelo quietly gave a thumbs up. Now we'll see the real deal. Liu already knew this. Tong Yao and the other researchers looked over at me. If I couldn't answer, it'd be obvious there was a team behind the project. You mean this part? I casually introduced it. It's just a regular actuator. It's a heavy carbon fiber alloy. Structural strength grade around 389. A nuclear explosion would only scrape the paint. It can maintain core temperature from absolute zero up to 10,000 degrees, keeping the core at a constant temperature. Impressive, said Wang Lao. His aged face quivered slightly. So, the super strength and constant temperature abilities come from this new material. Little Su, I believe you. Can you introduce that one next? Wang Lao pointed at the shoulder railgun. I looked up at the railgun. A smile formed at the corner of my mouth. That one is simple too. It's an improved electromagnetic railgun. Uses electromagnetic force to launch projectiles. Dramatically increases both range and speed. I'm sure you already understand all this. No need for me to explain further, right? Wang Lao's face turned a little red. Maybe you should explain it in more detail. I paused and looked at Hua Lao. Hua Lao nodded as well. All the researchers looked completely confused. I had no choice but to explain thoroughly. It's made up of 3 parts: energy source, accelerator, and trigger system. After explaining everything in one go, my mouth was dry. I took a sip of water handed to me by Wang Yixu. With a dry mouth, I took a sip of water handed over by Wang Yixu. Everything around was dead silent. The researchers were even more confused. It's just too profound. Professor Wang asked Jiaosu expectantly and nervously. The synthesis pathway and formula for carbon fiber alloy. Do you still remember? It's all in my head. Help me find a pen. I sat down on the floor. In 10 minutes, I wrote over 10 pages. I handed it to Professor Wang. Inside are detailed steps and theoretical support. You're just giving me this? Professor Wang was shocked. It's just a few formulas. I laughed as Professor Wang took the notebook from me. His heart was racing. If this manuscript were released to the world, it wouldn't be surprising if it triggered a global conflict. But I handed it over for free. Professor Wang and Professor Hua's eyes turned red. Their lips trembled. You are truly a pillar for the nation and the people. Tong Yao saw the 2 elders were utterly impressed. She decided to step in personally. Su Fan, hello. I am Tong Yao, electronic warfare expert from the Southern Military District. I'd like to ask you something. What programming language was used for the central control system? A crafty look flashed in her eyes. Physicists are usually weak in programming. I didn't use any computer language, I replied truthfully. My central control system uses a different logic. It's built on physical manipulation, deeply integrated with artificial intelligence. To enable anthropomorphic operation, Tong Yao was stunned. She totally didn't get it. She rolled her eyes. Oh, that I understand. By the way, can I take a look at your phone? I handed over my phone. Tong Yao was baffled as soon as she got it. So light, she opened the device info. Immediately, she was dumbfounded. Storage, 1000 terabytes battery. Nano neutrino power processor, junction 001 signal. Solar system waterproof rating, IP1000. Tong Yao's eyes widened. She scratched her head wildly. Is this even real? Even novels wouldn't dare to go this far. Yao's eyes widened. She scratched her head crazily. Is this even real? Even novels wouldn't go this far. Su Fan, did you also modify this phone yourself? Yeah, it was a hassle. She took a deep breath and threw out the last professional question. Could you explain how the Schwanstein stone system works? This is much simpler than the mech central control. After rattling off a bunch of technical jargon, Tong Yao was completely defeated. She giggled awkwardly as she handed the phone back to me. She never wanted to talk with me again. It turns out, this genius girl in front of me was only worthy of being called little moneybags. Professor Wang came over. Jiaosu, what were you guys talking about? Central control system. I answered. Professor Wang exclaimed, wow. It only took 2 minutes to make a computer genius shut down. Jiaosu, after building your mech, who helped you with the test flight? Professor Wang pressed on. Of course it was. I didn't have time back then, so I just took it for a quick spin. I replied seriously. What? Professor Hua grabbed my arm. You even did the test flight yourself? I nodded. No one understands Junction Number 1's performance better than me. Can you do a test flight right now? Professor Wang was so excited. Sure, I was thrilled inside. Perfect, I get to enjoy this. Professor Wang had Wang Yixu sit in the co-pilot seat to help, and adjusted the military satellites for communication support. I input the code. The mech's eyes flashed intensely. Red light fired up instantly. We were pulled into the cockpit. Current driving mode. Master mode rapid startup complete. Standing by for action. Wang Yixu was surprised to find the voice I activated was totally different from his. And it was directly in master mode. The safety buckles were all secured. I reminded him. Professor Wang, how do you want me to test fly? I switched on voice communication. Go all out with everything you've got. Professor Wang was a bit worried. My eyes lit up. Give it everything I've got? So I can fly however I want. I shifted my focus to king mode. Wang Yixu's pupils contracted sharply and shouted, Su Fan. What are you doing? Don't try to show off. Let me out. Wang Yixu's pupils shrank sharply and shouted, Su Fan. What are you doing? Don't try to show off. Let me out. Current mode. All auxiliary limitations have been removed in king mode. Junction no. 1. Launch. There's no time left. I pulled the control stick hard. Boom! 10 boosters erupted with fire. The mech shot forward horizontally. The intense G-force made Wang Yixu suffocate. Golden sparks showered from under our feet. Just as we left the indoor arena, I pressed the climb button. The mech shot upward, 100 meters off the ground. It broke the sound barrier instantly. The sonic boom shattered the base's glass windows. Flower pots smashed to pieces. Professor Wang covered his ears and sighed. Still too young, too impatient. Professor Wang, take a look at the data. Professor Hua reminded everyone to look at the screen. Current mode, king. Total thrust, 1,100 kilonewtons plus. Body temperature, 1,000 Celsius. Speed, Mach 10.8. Status, all normal. How is this normal? Everyone gasped in disbelief. Professor Wang's eyes were bloodshot, mouth wide open. He couldn't catch his breath. Suddenly, he fell backwards. Damn, Professor Wang, hang on. Professor Hua quickly swallowed a fast-acting heart pill, hurriedly urged Tong Yao to bring over the oxygen tube. Professor Wang spoke urgently in a shaky voice. I'm fine. Quick, look at the screen. Everyone turned their attention back to the screen. Current mode, king. Total thrust, 1,500 kilonewtons. Plus body temperature, 1,600 Celsius. Speed, Mach 16.8. Status, all normal. This is nuts. Almost 17 times the speed of sound. The pilot must be insane. The mech has gone crazy. All the researchers completely lost it. Shouts of existential collapse echoed throughout the hall. Everyone's values were shattered. No time to catch our breath. The mech had already pierced through the clouds. The blue sky gradually turned black. A few breaths later, there was nothing left as a reference on the screen. Inside the cockpit, I watched as my view turned black and whispered, activating dynamic visual compensation. Holographic helmet. Instantly allowed us to see in the darkness. Wang Yixu was completely stunned. Besides fear, he was shocked at my piloting skills. Damn, besides fear, he was shocked at my piloting skills. Sonic boom launch. In that ferocious climbing mode, I could still make critical maneuvers. That skill level is a peak he can never reach. He used to think he was gifted at piloting. Now he realizes it was just a joke. His confidence was hit with a 10,000-point combo. I had no idea what he was thinking. Focusing on the sensation in my right hand. Thrusting on the side, pulling back with my left hand. The mech made a stunning turn and hovered steadily in space. Quantum dynamic visual compensation automatically shuts off. A blue and white sphere. A planet wrapped in a silver veil appears before us. Behind it lies a boundless starry river. Wang Yixu's tension fades away. Stars light up in his eyes. His profile looks exquisitely beautiful under the halo. I'm also admiring this stunning scene. I'm overwhelmed beyond words. The mech halts its main engine output. It only uses miniature vector thrusters for attitude adjustment. So we're always facing this aqua blue planet, drifting slowly in synchronous orbit. This sight leaves the researchers in awe. Inhale some oxygen. Professor Wang regains his composure. He looks at his phone and asks the mech how long it took from the ground to space. Reporting in, Professor Wang. It's been 20 minutes since rapid launch. What? Professor Wang's eyes go wide. He quickly checks his watch. 20 minutes to break free from Earth. This is insane. If Newton knew about these numbers, he'd probably flip in his coffin. Even Einstein would be speechless. Professor Wang shakes his head. Professor Hua takes another fast-acting heart pill. After several minutes of silence, Professor Wang finally speaks with difficulty. Zhao Su. How does it feel? Feels like something's still missing. Should be the laser weapon system. And the lack of the Dragoon system. It's still not perfect. I frown slightly. Professor Wang is a bit stunned, thinking this is exhausting. Better go along with it. All right, we'll wait for your return. Be sure to perfect it more. Name whatever cost you need. Funding is not an issue. I love working the most. As long as there's work and enough money, I'm practically overjoyed. No problem, I love working the most. As long as there's work and enough money, I'm simply thrilled. Time to showcase the performance again. Maybe there'll be some extra gains. I look toward the distant moon. That's where the moon landing memorial and Armstrong's footprints are. Might as well check it out. Hold on tight. I tilt my head slightly. Wang Yixu looks startled. He guesses I'm up to something. Hurriedly grabs the safety buckle. Watches me yank the control stick. The light power engines roar explosively. 4 bright blue flames spit out 8-meter-long plumes. The intense thrust pushes the mech out of sync orbit, and we fly toward the moon. I glance at the data panel. The speed is only Mach 20. I can't help but sigh. The new propulsion, after all, still lacks compared to nuclear power. At the research base, Professor Wang is puzzled. Jiasu, where are you planning to go? Aren't you coming back? I'm taking Yixu to the moon for a look. I say casually. What? What did you say? To the moon? Professor Wang's mustache flares up. No, it's too dangerous. The distance is 380,000 kilometers away. How could you possibly make it? Is there enough power for a return trip? I understand his concern. No need to worry. There's enough time and energy. I'll try to be back before lunch. Afraid he won't believe me. I flip open the red plastic cover and slap the button. Afterburner mode activating. Backup energy engaged. Entering afterburner mode. The mech's 4 rear vector nozzles rapidly transform. Blue flames burst out with a thunderous blast. An unparalleled thrust hits us. It feels like blood is being forcibly pumped from my body into my brain. The mech shoots toward the moon like a crimson beam. At the research base, Professor Wang is trembling all over. Mach 20 is already the limit of imagination. Now they're using afterburner mode. Professor Hua sees the data panel. Current mode, King plus 1 level of afterburner. Speed, Mach 43. Professor Hua's eyes widen like eggs. His mouth could fit a fist. He's panting rapidly. Looks like he's about to collapse. Gasps for breath. Looks like he's about to keel over. Tong Yao is shocked. Quick, give Professor Hua a heart pill. Professor Wang snaps out of it. And sees the data too. Mach 45, seriously? He can't catch his breath, his whole body twitching. Give Professor Wang a heart pill too, quickly. Tong Yao shouts. The 2 elders are helped into chairs. They take their medicine and are hooked up to oxygen tubes. Their faces are still stricken with shock. Mach 45. They can't believe it even if they try. I can hear the panic coming from the other side, but I ignore it and focus on piloting. Wang Yixu's holographic helmet isn't connected to ground audio. He's just getting used to the extreme speed, still gasping while watching the moon. Getting closer and closer. He looks excited. Just getting near the moon is enough to be proud. We're close enough now. Getting ready to slow down. Decelerating feels just as brutal as accelerating. I remind him to brace himself. Wang Yixu tenses his muscles. Ready. I use both hands to flip the engines for the mech. Power up to the max Mach 45. The supersonic mech is instantly enveloped in reverse G-forces. Our eyeballs are nearly pressed into our sockets. Blood is thrown to the back of our heads. A terrifying feeling of suffocation sweeps in. Our hearts feel almost crushed. I honestly feel like dying. Looks like we need to develop body-strengthening drugs. The human body's limits are the mech's greatest shackle. The pressure eases. The mech hovers above the moon. A vast expanse of gray and white. Feels like it's embodying death itself. So this is the moon? Wang Yixu murmurs. Let's go. To the moon landing memorial and Armstrong's footprints. Let's check it out. I pull the control stick and rush into the moon's gravity field. Radar has already locked onto Murray Imbrium base. 1G, back on Earth. The two professors regain their mobility, staring at their phones. The mech is in a 5 Mach dive toward the moon. Now everyone finds it normal. After experiencing Mach 45, they're used to it. The experts' nerves are pretty much trained now. They're already landing. Professor Wang exclaims. Professor Hua's eyes are bloodshot as well. This represents China. Professor Wang, should we report this up the chain? Tong Yao prompts. Let's observe first even if we report it. We can't make it public yet. Does Senior Wang need to report this upwards?
Tong Jiao gives a reminder.
Let's check first even if we report. We can't make it public. Wang replies sternly. Su Fan and the Mecha both need protection. Above the moon, the lunar soil comes into sharper focus. I shout excitedly. Adjusting posture. Thrusters activated. The Mecha lands steadily, accompanied by tremors. Both feet sink into lunar soil. It feels like the right foot stepped on something. But it's not important. Yizu, quickly help me find where the monument is. I didn't notice. He's staring at me with a strange expression. The people at the research base are also petrified. What's wrong? One asks Su Fan. When you landed just now, did you notice stepping on something? Wang Yixu speaks with difficulty. Seems like I stepped on a stone. What's wrong? Guess what the Mecha's right foot landed on? I frown, suddenly shocked. Damn, quickly move my right foot away. The Great Lunar Landing Monument got pressed into the lunar soil by me. Only the bottom is exposed. Armstrong's footprint got completely crushed. I'm dumbfounded. Humanity's giant leap is just gone like that. Wang Lao and the others are stunned too. If word gets out, China will definitely be condemned for destroying relics.
Hey, Senior Hua clears his throat.
His gaze is sharp. Nobody saw what happened today. Understood, Senior Hua? What did you say? I was on the computer just now, didn't see a thing. Tongjiao gets the hint. The researchers all chime in. My eyesight is blurry. Need to apply some main glong.
Tong Jiao's mouth twitches.
Is main glong acting smart? Senior Hua gives a pleased thumbs up. He dismisses everyone. Only Tongjiao stays to look after the two seniors. On the moon, I stare at what was crushed, feeling a bit guilty. So I just stomped over again, kicked hard 2 more times, made a 1 meter deep footprint, then scraped a line next to it. A small step for the Mecha, a giant step for technology. After that, with Wang Yixu staring in shock, I yank the control stick and make my getaway. Boost mode activated. The Mecha vanishes instantly. Return trip is quick. I speed along the route, burst into the atmosphere. Still manage to squeeze in some after-sales training. Yixu, watch closely. Adjusting posture is simple. I speed along the route, burst into the atmosphere. Still manage to squeeze in some after-sales training. Yizu, pay attention to the posture. Adjustment is simple. Do this first, then that. That's the falling leaf technique. The Mecha descends, fluttering like a falling leaf. Wang Yixu's face is stiff. He's deeply suspicious. Let me show you the paperclip maneuver. I perform another round of super complex moves. Mecha rapidly climbs. Does a 180-degree turn. Wang Yixu stops talking completely. His face is pale, totally defeated. He finally gets why Tanjiao talks about being socially withdrawn or confident. Broken-hearted, feels wronged, wants to cry. I check the time, it's already noon. Decide to wrap up the lesson. After sales really is exhausting. Mecha stops at the indoor field. Wang Yixu breathes a sigh of relief. Shows a smile like he just survived a disaster. In the meeting room, Senior Wang and Senior Hua look kindly. Little Su drives really well. Teach Yixu more in the future. No problem, I reply respectfully. Wang Yixu desperately signals Wang Lao. After the conversation, I receive a commission to build another Mecha and upgrade its weapon systems. Wang Lao gives me 10 million and grants access to military supply channels for free. My eyes light up.
It's basically a no-risk deal.
Back at the abandoned factory, I send the materials list to Tanjiao. He says it'll arrive within an hour. Southern Military District. Li Gozhong of the division staff just returned. Mobilization for the exercises is about to start. The auditorium is completely packed. Li Gozhong enters. Thunderous applause. Southern Military District lost 3 times in a row. This time defense duty falls to him. Soldiers, Li Gozhong says loudly. We've lost 3 times in a row. This time we must reclaim our honor. Better to take 1 step forward and die, than take 1 step back and live. Blue Army will win. Blue Army will win. The shouts shake the room. After the pep talk, the war room feels tense. Commander Redside worked with the Research Institute and produced over 100 exoskeleton suits, especially good for urban assaults. Staff Officer Yang sighs. Wish we had exoskeletons too. Staff Officer Yang sighs. Wish we had exoskeletons too. Li Gozhong walks up to him with meaningful intent. They have exoskeletons. Do you think we wouldn't have secret weapons? Everyone's eyes light up. I finished the battle plan. We'll announce it before the fight. Battle starts early tomorrow. Li Gozhong says seriously. Everyone salutes, but they're all doubtful, facing 100 exoskeleton suits. What kind of secret weapon can balance that? Hopefully, the commander isn't just comforting us. Late night, in a deserted factory in Heishi, the ultrasonic tech workbench runs loudly. 10 robotic arms swing wildly. After upgrading to LV2, the workbench manufactures faster. This round of Constellation Mecha used up 900 tech points. Only 2,300 left on hand. To fulfill my father's wish of building a deep-sea submersible, I'll need at least 5,000 more points. This military exercise is a great chance to harvest shock. I made do with a night on a small warehouse bed.
Tanjiao says.
Weapon materials will be delivered by midnight. Next morning, 5 a.m. Alert sounds. Junction 2 is finished. I look at the newly completed Mecha, eyes shining with excitement. Same fiery red paint job, but this one favors long-range attacks. Left arm has twin railguns. Right arm features mini missile launchers. Just as I'm about to take it for a spin, the phone rings. I'm at the door. Open up for unloading. Tanjiao's tired voice comes through. I open the metal door. Tanjiao's petite figure drives the heavy truck in. He gets out sleepy-eyed. So tired I need to go back for a solid nap later. He rubs his eyes, looks at the workbench. Why does the Mecha look different? That's not Junction 1. After realizing, Tanjiao jolts wide awake. Totally wakes up, mind sharp in an instant.
He looks up at the giant in front of him.
An overwhelming visual impact hits. Sharp dual railguns. Ferocious mini-missile launchers. His eyes are blown away. After a while, he's gasping for air and asks Su Fan expectantly, "Can I go into the cockpit and take a look?" Of course. The customer is always king. I started the mech using my phone. Both of us went into the cockpit. Tanjiao's eyes were sparkling with excitement. Can I take it for a test drive? No problem. I'll guide you. Tanjiao, the computer genius, quickly learned how to operate it. Because of her top-level understanding of the central control system, it was surprisingly smooth to handle. Half an hour later, she could already control it simply in beginner mode. Daylight filled the sky. The mech returned to the warehouse. Tanjiao stayed in the cockpit, practicing driving simulations. I used the materials he brought me and started making laser weapons and the Dragoon system. It was a whole day of busy work. At night, the system notified that the weapons were installed. The fully formed versions of Tianyi No 1 and No 2 were shown. Each side now had an additional laser emitter. A fully extended pair appeared on the back, mechanical wings reaching up to 6 meters wide. The Dragoon system. I woke Tanjao up. We rushed the mechs back to the research base overnight. Once this military exercise is over, we should have enough tech points to fulfill my father's wish. The next evening, Southeastern Military Exercise Base. Li Gozhong led the 8th Armored Combined Division to deploy. 3 tank regiments in the exercise city, 1 infantry regiment, 1 artillery regiment and 1 air defense regiment, all at the ready. But many officers were deeply worried, afraid of the enemy's exoskeleton armor. Pitch black night. 2 buzzing sounds flew over the soldiers' heads. Li Gozhong led the guard squad to a secret location in the exercise city, watching 2 mechs rapidly descend overhead. He was visibly excited. Landing Tianyino. 1. Landing Tianyino. 2. Long time no see, mech. He was visibly excited as Tianyino. 1 landed. Tianyino. 2. Long time no see, boom. Boom! The 2 visually dazzling mechs suddenly appeared. Li Gozhong's gaze swept over the massive steel wings and dual railguns on the back, instantly catching his eyes. He trembled with excitement. He almost wanted to kiss them. The guards behind him were left speechless in shock. The Kazi hatch opened. Wang Yixu and Tong Gyo walked down in camouflage uniforms. Salute, Commander. Please assign the combat mission. Not yet. I want to use these 2 steel blades of yours to deliver a fatal blow when the red side is most relaxed. Li Gozhong smiled mysteriously. He ordered the mechs to be covered with black cloth. Let the 2 women hide nearby and wait for orders. At the same time, outside the city, the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Division of the Eastern Military District was on high alert.
Inside the red side command.
Commander Kong had a confident smile. Urban offense and defense. Tanks are just blind tigers. His exoskeleton armor regiment is the king of street fighting. Commander, the exoskeleton armor regiment has reached position. Chief of Staff reports orders. Total silence. No instructions. No one is allowed to move. Commander Kong looked out the window, muttering, "Oh Li, you're definitely losing this time." In the exercise observation point, not far from the military base, Southeast Battle Zone leaders Zhu Gudong and Robin stood in front of the sand table. Old Zhu explained to the team, "The blue side is at a big disadvantage. Little Kong's exoskeleton armor regiment has victory in hand." Robin shook his head. "Yeah, it's about time we left." Zhu Gudong agreed. Daybreak. Red signal flares rose into the sky. The military exercise officially started. Only 5 minutes later, Li Gozhong received a report from the forward positions. After an hour of shelling, the red side pushed forward rapidly. "Commander, the positions can't hold on much longer. Rear units provide support." Staff Officer Yang urged anxiously. "No, the 1st Tank Regiment is doomed if they stay back. No retreat allowed." "Stop! Rear units provide support." Staff Officer Yang urged anxiously. "No, the 1st Tank Regiment is doomed if they stay back. No retreat allowed," Li Gozhong said sternly. "They have to face far more terrifying enemies." 2 hours later, the whole front line was on emergency alert. More shocking though, Red Side paratroopers had already infiltrated near the command. Red Side Command. Commander Kong sipped his hot tea. Order. Exoskeleton Armor Regiment to take the position in 1 hour. Blue Army Command. Yes. Thousands of exoskeleton soldiers lurking in Blue Army's rear launched a swift assault. They carried light machine guns and stormed the streets. Their firepower was fierce. The Blue Army Guard Regiment responded instantly. Heavy casualties. Commander, the enemy is less than 5 kilometers away. Retreat now, the enemy is just 1 kilometer out. Coming straight for the command, Li Gozhong didn't budge. Any news from the scout team? Nothing yet. Ring, the phone rang. Report, Commander. Recon soldiers have found the enemy command. Li Gozhong slammed his fist on the table. Called the phone. Yixu, Tanjiao. Target. Red side. Command. You have 10 minutes. Capture them all alive. 5 minutes is more than enough. Li Gozhong tossed his phone to the communications officer. Connect to the big screen. Let's see how you cry this time. The screen split in 2. Suddenly, an ear-splitting roar sounded. 2 sharply designed mechs appeared on screen. Command fell silent. Everyone stopped breathing. Commander, is this real? The chief of staff trembled. The mechs on the screen burst with bright blue flames, shooting straight up. The violent shock was transmitted to the command. Damn, those really are mechs. Everyone went from shock to ecstatic. They finally understood what the commander's secret weapon was. Wang Yixu and Tanzhou piloted the mechs, hovering 100 meters above the ground, taking off with a sonic boom. Thousands of soldiers below were stunned. They even stopped firing and stared. What the heck is that? Wan Shaibing was stunned. He even stopped firing and looked up. What on earth is that thing? Red Team headquarters. Commander Kong was humming tunes and planning a victory party at night. Got several hearty dishes ready. Suddenly, a loud buzzing and fierce wind erupted overhead. The headquarters tent was uprooted and blown away. Commander Kong was left in just a red undershirt. He just shouted, "Watch out for the typhoon." A red figure crashed down hard. Boom! The ground cracked open. Commander Kong was frozen in shock.
He stared at the Mecha above him. He hurriedly shouted, "Report this, fast!"
The Autobots have invaded Earth. He just turned around. Another red light crashed down. Commander Kong was so scared he collapsed on the ground. Looking up, double-barrel cannons were pressed right against his face.
He tried to hold back his shock.
With a trembling voice, he asked the Autobots, "What are you planning to do?" The Mecha spoke with a half-human, half-machine voice. "Surrender to the Blue Army immediately, and report to the observation office." Commander Kong's mind flashed with a terrifying guess. Li Gozhong has sided with the Autobots. He spat bitterly, decided to give in for now. He ordered the entire division to surrender to the Blue Army. Meanwhile, he dialed the observation office. Robin at the observation office was just about to leave. Answered the call, laughing. "Little Kong just won. Ready to report good news." "Reporting, sir. Our headquarters was attacked by Autobots. A cannon is pressed against my face. We've surrendered fully to the Blue Army." Commander Kong almost cried, finding it absurd. "You've watched too much Transformers. Might be sent to the military court for spreading rumors." Robin was furious. The commander isn't necessarily an Autobot. Could be a solar fighter or a Gundam. Robin almost fainted from anger. "Connect me to video. If I don't see Autobots, I'll send you straight to court." 1 minute later, video connected. Robin sneered at the screen. A massive, elongated double-barrel cannon, pressed tightly against Commander Kong's face. Behind him stood a towering, colossal Mecha. Its eyes glowed with a red cross-shaped light. The sense of pressure instantly shocked Robin's eyes. "It's really the Autobots." Robin was dumbfounded. Zhugudong next to him was also stunned. His eyes rolled up, nearly fainted. The guard hurriedly supported them. On the other side of the video, Commander Kong saw the chief believed him. He breathed a sigh of relief. The Mecha's cannons retracted. The red glow faded. The hatch opened. Wang Yixu and Tong Yo poked their heads out, smiling as they saluted. The door opened. Wang Yixu and Tong Yo poked their heads out, smiling as they saluted. Commander Kong was stunned, not an Autobot. "It's disguised by aliens." "Which star system are you aliens from?" The commander gathered his courage to ask. Reporting to Commander Kong, Electronic Warfare Battalion Commander of the 8th Armored Synthetic Division. Also pilot of General Tian 2. Tong Yao reporting to Commander Kong. Special Mecha Team Leader of the 8th Armored Synthetic Division. Also pilot of General Tian 1. Wang Yixu smiled. "Commander Kong, your side has fully surrendered. We should get going." The two returned to the cockpit. The Mecha burst out blue flames, shot straight up, transformed into a red light and vanished. Commander Kong and his staff were stunned, as if they'd just had a dream. Robin and Zhugudong were frozen too. They tacitly hung up the phone, then immediately called Li Gozhong with a sarcastic tone. "Well done, Jolly. Those two huge iron monsters. Kept them secret so well. You taught us a lesson." Li Gozhong was fearful. "Did you crush me with your palm? If it had been exposed earlier, would you have let me use it? This really breaks the balance badly." Robin laughed and cursed. "So you think it's my fault for not teaching you well? Honestly, are those iron monsters powerful or not?" "Super powerful. Really powerful. Insanely powerful." Li Gozhong beamed. A single shot wiped it out. It was gone. The particle blade sliced the T-54 tank to pieces in just 2 moves. Robin frowned.
He thought it might be exaggerated.
but the mecha's strength was undeniable. The two decided to hold a commendation meeting in 3 days and inspect the mecha. At night, Wang Yixu drove and brought Tong Yao, Elder Wang, and Elder Hua. Arrived at my old warehouse. Elder Wang and Elder Hua looked at the rundown warehouse, full of confusion. Can such a place produce world-leading mechas? Pushed open the rusty big door. It was pitch black inside. I was leaning over a lamp, drawing and writing, Master Su. Turn on the light, Wang Yixu shouted. I pressed the remote. The warehouse instantly turned as bright as daytime. Elder Wang and Elder Hua's pupils contracted sharply. A workbench over 5 meters tall with ultrasonic technology stood in the center.
10 robotic arms gleamed coldly.
The sci-fi vibe was overwhelming. Xiaosu, what is this? Elder Wang's breathing quickened. An integrated multifunctional workbench. Elder Hua quickly walked up. The more he looked, the more fascinated he became. His face turned red with excitement. This unit is an absolute monster among monsters. The two stroked the workbench, completely obsessed. Elder Hua glanced at the scrap in the corner. Xiaosu, what's that? Leftover carbon titanium alloy from building the mechas. Just scrap, I replied casually. Carbon titanium alloy. Elder Hua gasped sharply. The strongest material in the world. And you just toss it in the corner to collect dust. Such a waste. Elder Wang's eyes turned red too. Full of resentment, I rolled my eyes, lifted the tarp nearby. Elder Wang, Elder Hua.
It's all here.
If you're interested, we can discuss the price. Colorful metallic scraps glittered brilliantly. Elder Hua's hand trembled as he grabbed a piece. However much you have, I'll take it all. I was secretly delighted. Big clients. But you two, my costs aren't low. Let's say I take a loss. 499 per pound. Everyone gasped. The four of them stared wide-eyed, fixated on me. Bodies trembling. Too pricey? I chuckled awkwardly. Just kidding. Let's call it a contribution to science. 498 a pound, lowest price deal. Elder Hua's heart raced. 498 a pound. Both elders were shell-shocked. This price is an insult to such a great material, Tong Yao quietly said to Elder Wang, Master Su. Is he planning to donate to the country at such a dirt-cheap price? Elder Wang suddenly understood. Utterly moved. Su Fan just didn't want the country to feel awkward accepting a pure donation. Su Fan just didn't want the country to feel awkward accepting a pure donation. Such selflessness can't be measured by money. Elder Wang patted my shoulder. Xiaosu, you're a good comrade. Let's do as you say. 498 a pound. Elder Hua picked up a strand of silver. Is this another new alloy? It's a warm superconducting alloy. About a ton left, I replied casually. Yes, warm superconducting. Elder Wang got excited. This is Nobel Prize level stuff. For building mechas, circuit energy is transferred without loss. Are you going to buy it? The two elders were dumbfounded. They didn't dare to respond. This thing's value is incalculable. Old rules, 498 per pound. I'll give you the synthesis formula as well. I'm stroking my chin. But without my workbench, it's hard to make. The chatterbox's eyes turned red. He almost wants to kneel to me. Mr. Wang comes up and gives me a bear hug. Tonjiao can't hide her admiration for a national treasure. Wang Yixu looks completely clueless. Grandpa is even using the phrase national treasure. I'm thinking this is ridiculous. The old man starts praising me to the heavens again. Mr. Wang, do you want other alloys? Say no more. We'll take it all. Mr. Wang is so moved he bursts into tears. I marvel in my heart. What a big client. Zhao Su, there's something I'd like your opinion on. Mr. Wang said seriously. The research base wants to collaborate with you to develop mechas. They'll help you get a national-level academic title. I laughed. Working together on mecha development. No problem. It's really no big deal. Night is deepening. The moon is cold as water. Outside the abandoned factory, dogs are barking in Chongming. Inside, everyone's having a great conversation. The production line setup has been agreed upon. I'll provide the technology. Mr. Wang and the others handle everything else. For each mecha produced, I get a 3% commission. In their eyes, 3% is just a token gesture. But to me, there will be endless cutting-edge tech emerging in the future. Mechas are really nothing. Endless cutting-edge tech will emerge. Mechas are really nothing. Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua are completely convinced. After discussing the production site, the Mecha project is officially established. Mr. Wang is grinning from ear to ear. He bluntly tells Wang Yixu and Tun Zhao to learn from me. Mr. Hua focuses on my workbench. There's a pile of blueprints there. Zhao Su, what are you researching here? Mr. Hua couldn't hold back his curiosity and asked, You're talking about what's on the blueprints? I was bored. Just came up with a deep-sea submersible design. I replied casually. Deep-sea submersible? You're researching that too. Mr. Hua was stunned, seeing the flashy design on my blueprints. It's worlds apart from ordinary submersibles. I'm just in my 20s. Developing mechas is already exhausting. Yet I still have time to develop other things. Truly invincible. I know a thing or two. I replied modestly. Mr. Hua wasn't convinced. My know a thing or two is probably the peak of the field. Mr. Wang was right. Truly a national treasure. Leaving the abandoned factory, Mr. Wang couldn't calm down for a long time.
He solemnly said to Tun Zhao,
Write down what I'm about to say. And report it? Once I decide. Tun Zhao was stunned. Hurriedly took out pen and paper. Mr. Hua and Wang Yixu were also shocked. Mr. Wang, as a recipient of the National Honor Medal, has once-in-a-lifetime top-level authority. As long as it doesn't go against national will, all departments must cooperate. Under everyone's gaze, Mr. Wang spoke resolutely. Use National Honor Medal authority. Upgrade Sufan's research access to level 10. All resources in Shanghai are fully open to him. All departments must cooperate unconditionally. Even if Sufan wants a Starlink satellite in the sky, they have to find a way to get one. If any department has objections, no need to report. Just fire the leader directly. At the same time, Sufan's personal info is now red level top secret, level 10, bearing 3 gold stars on his shoulder. No one below is allowed to touch him. No one below is allowed to touch him. Sufan is the hope for Xie's rise. He is the backbone of the future country. After saying that, golden light shot from Mr. Wang's eyes. His aura was overwhelming. Tun Zhao was trembling while taking notes. Damn, this isn't just special privilege. This is totally doing whatever he wants. Mr. Wang's meaning is very clear. Anyone who causes trouble for Sufan will be dealt with as trouble themselves. They're betting Xia's national fortune on Sufan. For the next 100 years. Mr. Wang's tone softened. That's it, authority is used up.
Next.
The Mecha production line and personnel selection are top priorities. Everything else should make way. Also, the issue of awarding Sufan can't be delayed. Mr. Hua strongly agreed. Indeed, geniuses like Sufan deserve the highest honors. He donates priceless treasures without compensation. He doesn't mind. But we can't not give him something. Even if we have to force it, we can't let scientific researchers become disheartened. Everyone expressed agreement. On the way back in the car, Wang Yixu was still driving. Everyone was chatting happily. Even the topic of whether I have a girlfriend came up. Wang Yixu said I was conned during a blind date a few days ago. Definitely don't have a girlfriend yet. Mr. Hua whispered to Mr. Wang, old pal. Sufan has contributed so much to the country. Shouldn't we consider assigning him a couple of female assistants? To help with daily life and taking care of his family. To ease his burden? If it were someone else, Mr. Wang would have smacked them by now. But this time he thought about it. If Sufan doesn't object, we actually can arrange that. I'll handle any gossip. Wang Yixu immediately objected. She floored the gas and almost scared the 2 elders into cardiac arrest. I object to you 2 elders interfering too much. Why are you worrying so much? Tun Zhao also raised her chin. Yixu is right. Sufan is healthy and capable, and he's handsome. It's not like he can't date freely. He's handsome, and it's not like he can't date freely. Don't mess things up. Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua exchanged a glance. They smiled slyly like old foxes. Mr. Wang kept a straight face and said Sufan was doing all that work. He surely can't handle everything at home. He has done so much for the country. Enjoying some privileges is perfectly reasonable. In the end, it's all for the country. Wang Yixu got anxious. But he doesn't have to hire a female secretary, does he? It's not like I can't help. He blushed right after he said that. Cleared his throat. Seriously, I mean, when there's no mission, I'd be happy to help take care of his family. Isn't it all for the country? Tong Yao chimed in. I can help too if I have nothing to do. Are we any worse than fresh college grads? A scheming smile flashed at the corner of Mr. Wang's eye. Pretending to agree, he said, since you all insist. We'll go with your plan. Just notify us beforehand. The four of us in the car, each with our own agenda. Perfectly content. Wang Yixu hit 120 on the highway. She even thought about coming to see me next time. Could she bring out a mech? After they left, I studied the deep-sea submersible for another hour. It's my father's life's work and my own obsession. The deeper the research, the stronger it can be built. Early the next morning, just as I got up, I heard Mom talking nonsense, complaining I wasn't going to blind dates. I wanted to tell her the truth, but I figured I'd rather not. What makes me happiest lately is Mom doesn't have to work outside anymore. A few days ago, nearly scared her when I handed her the money. It took some explaining for her to believe it. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. I opened the door and saw Wang Yixu, unexpectedly. Good morning, Su Fan. She was wearing a long white spaghetti strap dress. Her skin glowed in the morning light. Her eyes were clear and bright. Yixu, what brings you here? Come on in. Wang Yixu walked in and saw my humble home. Thinking of how I handed over advanced tech to the country, she felt uneasy. Thinking of how I handed over advanced tech to the country, she felt uneasy. She made up her mind to apply for a bigger house for me. Mom brought out breakfast. Her eyes lit up at the sight of Wang Yixu. She warmly invited Yixu to eat. The more she looked, the more she liked this graceful and classy girl. At breakfast, Mom asked all sorts of questions. She even asked about bride price and gold jewelry. I wanted to dig a hole and crawl in. Yixu answered politely. They got more familiar as the conversation went on. Auntie, you look so young. Your skin is amazing. Can I call you sister? I was dumbfounded listening nearby. Making things up on the spot, aren't you? Mom completely lost herself amid all the compliments. The 5-minute breakfast stretched to an hour. Only after my insistence did they finally finish chatting and agreed to continue next time. I pulled Yixu out the door. Mom murmured at the mirror, I do look pretty young. Yixu sure knows how to talk. If only she were my daughter-in-law. Wang Yixu drove a military jeep, taking me down the highway. Yixu, how much longer? I asked casually. Half an hour. She paused, hesitated and asked, Su Fan's missing. Did your dad go on a business trip? He passed away 10 years ago. Wang Yixu's hand suddenly trembled. Sorry, I'm fine. I barely remember anymore. My voice was low, obviously still struggling. Wang Yixu didn't pursue the topic. She turned on some soft car music. Half an hour later, we drove into Shanghai No. 3 Armory. Seeing the massive armory, I couldn't help but twitch. You can tell the country means business. They just requisitioned the whole armory. It's in a remote location, but fully equipped. Even has underground nuclear resistance bunkers. Yixu's phone rang. My multifunction workbench will arrive in 20 minutes. I breathed a long sigh of relief. Looks like it's time to get serious. An hour later, the workbench was installed. Raw materials started arriving. I didn't wait for nightfall. Started working right away. Setting up embedded components. Started working right away. Setting up embedded components. With everyone's cooperation. All the embedding was done before dark. Fully completed. A real miracle. That evening, Yixu and I went for dinner. She was really interested in street food. Tried grilled noodles and crepes. Total foodie. We ended up at a big food stall. The barbecue came out. I ordered a bottle of Brave the World. Yixu wanted to drink too. But I stopped her. If we both drink, who's going to drive later? The armory is over 20 miles from here. It's hard to get a cab this late. We ate and chatted. Yixu apologized again for this morning. I smiled and told her it was fine. Really started treating this silly, rich girl as a friend. Yixu got excited. Strongly insisted she wanted to drink a bottle. So we each had one. Had a great time. By 11 p.m., when we were ready to leave, we were stunned. There were no cabs. I asked the barbecue guy about nearby motels. Yixu's face turned bright red. She looked at me. I was taken aback. Quickly explained, it's not about winning or losing. I just wanted to ask if there's a hotel nearby. Number. The owner scoffed. Young people nowadays mature way too fast. Back in our day, at 18, we didn't even dare hold hands. My mouth twitched. This guy is nuts. Winning, I just wanted to ask if there were any cabs nearby. Seriously. No. The owner gave a man-to-man kind of look. Yiksu and I stood by the road, sighing helplessly. Yiksu fiddled with her sleeve. She had a lot on her mind. No car. What do we do? Should we walk farther? If we find a motel, and there's only one room, then what? Meanwhile, at the Shanghai research base, it was late at night. Descending sky no. 2 mech blasted off. Red warning sounds came on. Current driving mode. Master quick start completed. Descending sky no. 2 launched. The mech soared skyward. Tong Yao looked determined. Kept practicing piloting. The awards ceremony is the day after tomorrow. The commander will personally watch the live simulation.
He has to ramp up training.
The commander will personally watch the live simulation.
He has to ramp up training.
Just then, his holographic helmet picked up Wang Yixu's call. Zhao Yao, are you busy? Can you come pick us up? Sure, send me the location. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Got the location. Tong Yao yanked the controls and shot off. Hung up the phone. Yixu grinned and said, "Don't worry." Zhao Yao said he would be here in 5 minutes. Where is he that he can get here in 5 minutes? I wondered, then had a stunning guess. A streak of blue light shot across the night sky. Wow, a shooting star. Yixu was thrilled. Shooting star, my foot. That's Tong Yao's song. She piloted a mech to pick us up. A huge buzzing sound filled the air. The BBQ vendor had just packed up. He looked up.
His mind was shaken.
A gigantic humanoid mech landed on the street. After grabbing us, it disappeared into the night with a sonic boom. The boss's legs were trembling. His jaw was quivering. His wife rushed out asking what happened. Was it an earthquake? Honey, I think I just saw that young couple get taken by aliens. You've watched too much Wandering Blue Star. Just go to sleep.
His wife threw a slipper at him.
I didn't go back to the research base. I returned to the munitions factory alone. No one disturbed me at night. It's the perfect time for work. On the Supertech workbench. The Supertech workbench VR launcher started. The beta production line concept import completed. This build will cost 500 tech points. Estimated completion time, 8 hours. Manufacturing started. In the silence of the night, the workbench rumbled in operation. This time, only parts are being made. No assembly required. Much fewer tech points are needed. The next day, when Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua arrived with their team, the workshop was already full of components. I even moved some of them outside overnight, with over 500 researchers and workers working together. Assembly officially began, with everyone's cooperation. Assembly officially started. The next day, the 8th Armored Composite Brigade garrison was filled with joy. Today is the military exercise commendation ceremony. After losing 3 times in a row, the Southern District finally felt proud. Now when the Southern troops see the Eastern troops, they all act cocky. They're full of swagger. Early in the morning, Commander Kong stepped off the car with a dark expression. Furious. Like he's here to make trouble for Li. Gojong came forward cheerfully, and so did old Kong. Heard the exercise scared you last time. Recovered so fast you can walk already. Man, I really feel sorry for you. Commander Kong clenched his jaw so hard it almost broke. The hell, it's feeling sorry. You might as well bring a wreath. He glared at Li Gojong, wanting to stab this shameless guy. They even deployed mechs in the exercise. If I'd known, I wouldn't have bothered. The officers behind Commander Kong were fuming too. Lost for no reason at all. Come on, Kong, don't act like a sulking wife. Can't you be more generous? Li Gojong laughed and said, Old Li, easy for you to say, you're not the one who had the gun pointed at his face. It's not you who had the barrel aimed at your face. Do you even know how humiliating that was for me? Commander Kong pouted, reminding him, we were in the same class. You already got equipped with mechs. I've got nothing. I don't care whether high or low. You owe me 2. I won't leave without at least 1. And you gotta feed me. Li Gojong was stunned. Kong is really shamelessly trying to freeload. Those 2 mechs are his precious babies. Kong wants my mechs? No way. Over my dead body. Li Gojong snapped. You get nice things and never share? You're so stingy. Commander Kong yelled, we've only got 2 for our battalion. There's nothing extra. Li Gozhong snorted. If you want mass production, it'll take at least another week. Oops, he realized he'd said too much. Quickly changed the subject. Kong, your exoskeleton armor is really impressive. Commander Kong's eyes lit up. He switched faces and smiled. Li, if you can mass produce in a week, is it too much to ask for 50? You'd only make 20 a year. Li Gozhong quickly shook his head. No way. How about 5 this year? And 3 more every year afterwards? Commander Kong rolled his eyes. If you don't agree, don't blame me for spreading rumors. Once the ground and air forces hear about it, your phone will blow up. Li Gozhong, looking grim, gave in. He had to offer something good to shut Kong up. Otherwise, too many wolves for too little meat. He'd be pestered to death. The two of them schemed for a bit, and agreed that after mass production, Commander Kong gets 2 first, and then 2 more every year. But the material costs have to come out of the Eastern Army budget. With Li Gozhong's persuasion, the mech which originally cost 5 million was now 10 million. Commander Kong covered all the material costs. Both were very satisfied. They slung their arms around each other and walked toward the auditorium. The officers from both sides looked confused. They were just at each other's throats. Now they're thick as thieves. Close to noon, the commendation ceremony began. The 1,000-seat auditorium was packed. Southeast Military Region Commanders Robin and Zhu Gudong were also present. They wanted to see the mechs last night. Now it's like every day feels endless. After all awards were presented, the host took the stage. Next up, we'd like to recognize the 2 mech pilots. It was they who turned the tide and captured the enemy commander alive. Let's welcome Wang Yixu and Tong Yao with resounding applause. Mechs are every man's dream. The whole crowd was fired up. Only Commander Kong's face was black as coal. He was the one captured alive. Robin and Zhu Gudong's eyes lit up. This was their first time seeing mech pilots up close. Wang Yixu and Tong Yao came on stage in camouflage uniforms. As the host announced their awards, each of them received 5 medals. This was an unprecedented honor from Brigade HQ. But Wang Yixu didn't look excited. He actually looked a bit restrained. The award ceremony ended. But Wang Yixu didn't leave the stage. He scanned the hall with his gaze, started to speak slowly. Commander, leaders, fellow comrades, please allow Yixu to be selfish just this once. I feel unworthy of these honors. I can't accept them. Li Gozhong suddenly felt uneasy.
He quickly said, Yixu.
Don't be stubborn. Come down, let's talk. Wang Yixu looked at him apologetically and continued, there is someone. While I was enjoying comfort in a greenhouse, he developed mechs and gave them to us selflessly. While I was enjoying myself in the greenhouse, he developed mechas and handed them over for free. When I was showered with honors, he had already been working tirelessly for over 50 hours. He donated carbon titanium alloys, superconducting alloys, and other inventions worthy of a Nobel Prize. All without compensation. He fought alone through obstacles, devoted everything without complaint or regret. Tears welled up in his eyes. His voice trembling, he is the backbone of our nation. There is no such thing as peaceful times. It's because he carries the burdens for us. Compared to him, I am so insignificant. The person who truly deserves the honor is Su Fan. The whole room went silent. These words touched everyone deeply. Countless people were moved to tears. After a brief moment of silence, Li Gozhong suddenly stood up and started clapping enthusiastically. Soon, everyone else stood and applauded. The 2 commanders also stood and applauded. The applause lasted for a full 5 minutes. Robin loudly praised. Well said. There is no such thing as peaceful times, only because someone carries the burdens. Rest assured everyone, the Southeast Military District will absolutely provide Comrade Su Fan the most generous conditions and highest honors. The scientific honor is already on its way, and our military district will show even greater sincerity. We would never let researchers feel undervalued. The conference ended perfectly. Li Gozhong quietly told Wang Yixu, Su Fan will definitely be getting a medal in a few days. Wang Yixu and Tong Jiu were startled. Medals weigh far more than awards. Thinking about how outstanding Su Fan is, Wang Yixu actually felt a bit uneasy inside, afraid of losing what belonged to herself. After lunch, the group went to the multifunctional command room. The main screen was split in 2. displaying real-time holographic helmet footage and data panels. The side screens showed external visuals. Robin glared at Li Gozhong. So you had everything prepared already. The senior commander is inspecting, so one must do their best. Li Gozhong picked up the microphone. Yixu and Tongjiu simulation exercise begins. Yixu and Tongjiu simulation exercise begins. The two accepted the orders and pulled the control levers. Engines roaring, spitting blue flames. The mechas instantly scraped against the ground, shooting sparks, charging out of the warehouse. This move, burning tires, immediately caught the attention of the two commanders. Both quickly took a sip of tea to calm themselves, staring intently at the screens. Commander, this is called slightly lifted start. The best part is yet to come, Li Gozhong explained. Right as he finished speaking, the sound of air being torn echoed from the footage. After the two mechas slid out, they braked sharply and froze in place, adjusted their posture, faces angled upward. Blue fire waves exploded. Mechas wrapped in dark clouds turned into lines of fire, soaring upward. Robin just sprayed his tea out. His eyeballs almost popped out, pointing at the screen. Ying 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 ying, amazing. Zhu Gudong also suddenly stood up.
His arms trembling.
Ying ying ying. Li Gozhong stayed expressionless, secretly looked down on him. Look at this hillbilly acting like he's never seen the city. Just one takeoff and he's already shaken this much. He calmly tried to reassure the commanders. Stay calm. It's just sonic boom takeoff. A small scene, not even a formal part of the exercise. Robin's face twitched. This kid really needs a beating. Hold up, old Robin. Look at the data panel. Zhu Gudong reminded with a trembling voice. Current mode, master. Total thrust, 2,200 kilonewtons. Acceleration, 1.3 Mach. Good lord, 1.3 Mach. Robin's pupils contracted sharply. He cried out in shock. His hair stood on end. The fastest fighter jet in the world is only 3 Mach. And you vertically climb at 1.3 Mach? I don't believe it, no way, these numbers are fake. Zhu Gudong shook his head desperately. I don't believe it, no way, these numbers are fake. Zhu Gudong shook his head desperately. Li Gozhong helplessly picked up the microphone. Commander says you're too slow. A bit faster? Sure. The two were delighted. Finally, they could speed up. Push the climb button down. The data jumped rapidly. The dark clouds around the mechas gradually disappeared. Robin felt like he caught a mistake. Laughing, Gozhong, the dark clouds are gone. That means they didn't even go supersonic. Your fake numbers are just... He didn't finish. Robin's smile froze, like a clay statue. As the Mecha turned,
He saw.
A dazzling planet reflected in his pupils, shining with blue light. The Mecha flew out of Earth. Robin let out a screech like a rooster. His worldview shattered. Less than 20 minutes to leave Earth. 2.4 Mach is absolutely real. Reporting, Commander. We've reached restricted orbit. Awaiting instructions, Wang Yixu's voice sounded. Robin snapped out of his daze. Execute as planned. Yes. Sir, the two activated the hydrogen power engines. 2 bursts of fire erupted in space. 2 beams of red light dove at lightning speed. The data panel showed 3.1 Mach. Both commanders were breathing rapidly, their eyes bloodshot. Li Gozhong expected this. Ordered someone to bring up breathing machines. Gozhong, I'm perfectly healthy. I don't need it, Robin frowned. I don't need it either. Zhu Gudong agreed. Li Gozhong was helpless, thinking, stubborn as ever. The altitude looked just right. So he ordered to impress the commanders? The two executed precise braking. Mecha swiftly flipped around. The vector nozzle on the back shot a 5-meter-long blue flame. The diving mechas rapidly slowed. Performed a sudden stop and turnaround in seconds. Shot a 5-meter-long blue flame. The diving mechas rapidly slowed. Performed a sudden stop and turnaround in seconds. Amid roaring engines, countless flashes, Mach rings soared again, finishing a 180-degree vertical turn in a single breath. Robin's heart nearly stopped. His eyes almost popped out. His teeth chattered wildly, turning pale. Zhu Gudong wasn't much better. Excitedly let out audible clucking sounds. His eyes rolled back. Looked like he could barely breathe. Li Gozhong whispered, told you to use oxygen. But nobody listened, so he got 2 nasal oxygen tubes for the commanders. This time, both accepted. Robin, with an oxygen tube in his nose, mumbled, "Does this move have a name?" "It's called the paperclip maneuver. And Sufan invented it too." Incredible. Robin's heart pounded like a drum. His blood pressure probably shot up to 580. Suddenly he realized, if the Mecha can hit 30 and pull off moves like this, then the weapon's power must be real too. Gojong, you mentioned the weapon test results earlier. Don't tell me those are real too. Robin's mouth was dry. "Commander, when have I ever lied to you?" Li Gojong spoke into the microphone and issued orders. "Begin weapon testing." Wang Yixu had been waiting impatiently. "Yes, sir." "Are we blasting space satellites this time?" Li Gojong was taken aback. "Don't take out the satellites. Just hit something normal." Robin's mustache twitched next to him.
Hearing this,
Taking out satellites is no different from smashing dog bowls. Now it sounds like he's done it before. Zhu Gudong took 2 breaths of oxygen, calmed himself. Gojong, isn't blowing up satellites a bit too flashy? These 2 chiefs want to see it. Li Gojong raised his eyebrow. The 2 chiefs exchanged a glance. Their looks seemed to say, let's see who's the real deal. Talking big isn't much of a skill. Li Gojong instantly understood. Spoke into the mic for first blood. "Can the railgun hit Starlink?" "Yes, radar scans. Less than 10,000 kilometers away. Within range. The chiefs want fireworks. You get what I mean, right? Sit somewhere concealed. We already talked it through. Less than 10,000 kilometers away. Within range. The chiefs want fireworks. You get what I mean, right? Sit somewhere concealed." End of conversation. Robin and Zhu Gudong are dumbfounded. What kind of cannon can hit 10,000 kilometers? Then what's the point of missiles? The 2 chiefs' smiles reach their ears. Their eyes are wide as copper bells, staring straight at Li Gojong. They look like they've seen a ghost. The screen changes at this moment. Camera fully focuses on Wang Yixu. Sky One is floating among the clouds. Shoulder-mounted railgun makes a clicking sound. A red energy cluster is gathering. A crosshair appears in the holographic view. Target locked. A virtual energy bar appears below the data panel. Mechanical sounds come on. Target locked. Railgun charging. Robin feels extremely uneasy. Swallowed nervously. Gojong, are you actually going through with this? Is it too late to abort now? Chief, have we ever messed around? Li Gojong hadn't finished speaking when boom. The railgun bursts with red fire. A fireball shoots into the sky. Disappears at an unbelievable speed. The command center falls silent. Only the sound of the chief's heartbeats can be heard. 1 second, 2 seconds. 3 seconds. Robin clenches his fists. Stops breathing. Starlink satellites are the Eagle Command's knives, constantly monitoring other countries. Robin has long disliked them. Fed up with being bullied. If we really take it down, at least we'll feel better. So what if Eagle Command notices? If they don't like it, let them come. He's extremely nervous inside. Zhu Gudong is eagerly awaiting. 9 seconds, 10 seconds. A dazzling firework explodes in distant space. The fire fills half the screen. Reporting, Commander. Perfect hit. Wang Yixu's voice comes in. Robin and Zhu Gudong leap to their feet. Slap the table heavily. Yes, beautiful work. Their eyes turn red. After years of being bullied by Eagle Command, finally, some satisfaction. Everyone in the command center is energized. If not for the chiefs, they would have blown the roof off. Robin calmly gives orders. Order Yixu and Tong Yao to return immediately. Would have blown the roof off long ago. Robin calmly gives orders. Order Yixu and Tong Yao to return immediately. Li Gojong realizes it's not the time to start a fight. Immediately gives the order. Both mechs quickly disappear into the clouds. Eagle Command Space Station. Anjui and Megan are carrying out their final EVA mission. Both are still spooked by the last incident. Anjui, hope we don't meet aliens again. Megan just finished saying. Suddenly, a red light flashes past their faces. Shit, what was that? Megan is startled. Follows the red light. A fireball suddenly bursts in the distance. Damn, aliens again. Run. Both rush back to the node module. Megan grabs the phone and calls the space agency boss. Aliens are attacking again. Red skin, 2 meters tall. 80 eyes, over 20 legs. Kicked and blew up the satellite. If I'm lying, I'm a loser. Request immediate return to Earth. Hangs up. Megan tells Anjui. We have to say the same thing on Earth. Otherwise, they won't let us go back. And Jui gives a thumbs up. You said you'd be a loser if you lied. My grandpa died a long time ago. Megan gives a mysterious smile. Director Paul of the space agency is completely confused. Just then, news comes in. Another Starlink satellite was shot down. Paul shivers with shock, mumbles something big has happened. Alien bugs are invading Earth. He immediately calls the Pentagon. 2 mechs return safely over Xia country's airspace. After last time's confusion, this time it's kept secret. No air raid alert triggered. Li Gozhong lets out a sigh of relief, worried the 2 girls might get too wild and take down our own space station. Chief, is this the end of the simulation exercise? Li Gozhong asks. Robin's interest isn't satisfied. Aren't there micro-missiles, laser weapons, particle blades? Let Tong Yao use a micro-missile. Hit a ground target for the chiefs. Tong Yao accepts the order. Radar locks onto the 355 tank target in the middle of the range. The mood in the command center relaxes. Robin and Zhu Gudong take off their oxygen tubes. They're sure it'll hit, not even bothering to watch. Tong Yao presses the launch button. The micro-missile shoots off, along with Wang Yixu. Yixu handled it. Let's go home. Robin stands up and laughs. Old Zhu, let's go. There's an emergency meeting tonight. Everyone stands up and salutes. Robin looks over at the main screen. Right then, the micro-missile hits. An almost blinding flash of white light suddenly lights up. The white light fades away. Yes, a massive fireball that shook the earth rose into the sky, accompanied by the fierce spread of black impurities. Waves of fire surged. A mushroom cloud spanning the sky arrogantly rose. Robin's hair stood on end. His pupils shrank to pinpoints. His face turned pale. He nearly collapsed in the command room. Everyone cried out in shock. A deafening roar thundered. The ground shook violently. The monitor flickered like a vase. Zhu Gudong slapped his thigh, realizing something big happened. That's a damn nuke. Evacuate now! Piercing alarms echoed through the base. Suspected small nuclear detonation detected. Please evacuate immediately. Nuclear radiation terrifies people. Li Gozhong was scared stiff. He hurried to organize an evacuation. Zhonghai Research Base. Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua were studying blueprints. The ground trembled. Alarms started blaring. The 2 looked out the window. A mushroom cloud rapidly expanded across the distant sky. A nuclear blast. Mr. Wang exclaimed and dropped his pen. Something happened in Gozhong's area. Both rushed downstairs. They grabbed radiation detectors. Mr. Hua called Tong Yao. Have your mechs drive over to the building right now. Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua each boarded a mech. They rushed to the headquarters gate. Started scanning right away. Scan result, no radiation. Mr. Wang and Mr. Hua were stunned. Mr. Hua pointed at the mushroom cloud, cursing, impossible. No radiation, but it's definitely a nuclear explosion. Otherwise, I'll eat the machine. Mr. Wang switched to a new device. Scanned again. Still no radiation detected. Robin, Zhu Gudong, and Li Bozong also arrived. Li Bozong pointed at the mushroom cloud, shouting, no radiation. What is that thing? Let's go check the test field. Mr. Wang made the call. 5 people rode in 1 car, at full throttle, driving toward the test field. Still no radiation measured. Long Tianyan, chief of staff of the Longxi war zone, was woken by a phone call. Report, chief. Strong shockwave detected from the southeast war zone. Most likely a nuclear test explosion. I can faintly see a mushroom cloud. What? Long Tianyan mentioned Li Gozhong. What's gotten into him? There aren't any test sites in the southeast war zone. He has no idea. Is there nuclear contamination? The Chanyuan war zone was also fearful and puzzled. International tensions are running high. This move by the southeast war zone might worsen the situation. It could make things worse. Test range 80. 2 fierce off-road vehicles sped across the wilderness at over 100 miles per hour. Wang Yixu and Tong Yao couldn't slow their driving. Half an hour later, everyone arrived beneath the mushroom cloud, staring at a super crater 1 kilometer in diameter. Everyone was dumbfounded. Still no radiation from the detector, except for a nuclear blast. What else could cause such destruction? Mr. Wang started doubting reality. Mr. Hua stared blankly. Robin asked Mr. Hua, what do you make of this crater? We need to ask Zhao Su. Mr. Hua's mind couldn't keep up. Tong Yao called Su Fan. Su bro, what's up with the micro missile? Turns out you guys were doing a missile test. Scared me half to death. Thought World War III had started. The roar of machinery came from Su Fan's side. That missile is just a bit stronger than usual. Try to fire it from further away. Everyone was speechless. It blasted out a kilometer-wide crater. And you call that just a bit stronger? Su bro, is that missile a nuke? Of course not. That's a high polymer solid-state cold flow shell. Decay completes instantly at the moment of explosion. No nuclear radiation at all. Tong Yao hung up. Everyone was still a bit dazed. But they were relieved it wasn't a nuke. Robin stared at the deep crater. Deeply shaken. The railgun is awesome. Even a micro-missile rivals a small nuke. He truly understood Su Fan's abilities. Reviving Xie Nation depends on talents like him. The reward must go up. Gojong Shaosu's requests should be met as much as possible. Anything he deserves, give it. Even what he doesn't deserve, give some. If anything goes wrong, I'll take responsibility, Robin ordered. Yes, Chief. Li Gojong saluted. Chief, you're giving Su Fan special privileges now. Then Long Tianyang called, Old Robin. You Southeast War Zones sure know how to make a splash. You even made a mushroom cloud. Did you steal the Sky Sword Force's nukes? Robin's face darkened at the wild accusation. I just fired a missile. It was a little more powerful. Just a bit, that's all. Robin's face darkened at the wild accusation. I just fired a missile. It was just a tad more powerful. Don't give me that. What missile can make a mushroom cloud? So, you're gonna let me have 100 or so? Robin grew wary. He's obviously fishing for intel. He rolled his eyes. A half-finished stuff from R&D. Once you blow it up, it's gone. Still need to ask the Bureau to make more. Debunked.
Hung up.
Robin quickly hung up. Long Tianyan is way too sharp. Any more talk, and they blow their cover. If the mech project gets exposed, Su Fan will be in danger. And the production line just started. There's no way to supply everything. The Tianyuan War Zone also called right after. Robin and Zhu Bazong tried to bluff their way through. Managed to muddle through. Mech simulation exercise finished. The two chiefs rushed back to command headquarters, dealt with follow-up effects, and prepared for the emergency video conference in the evening. Wang Yixu arrived at the Third Arms factory. Thanks to Su Fan's push for progress, the mech production line was installed and test run. Most steps were completed automatically by CNC machine arms. Su Fan just finished up. Wang Yixu drove her home. Meanwhile, the internet exploded. News about the mushroom cloud was everywhere, sparked nationwide debate and concern. But the related news strangely disappeared soon after. Director posted a video on Douyin. I'm director. That mushroom cloud today in a certain place. Weather Bureau confirmed it's extreme convection weather. Not a nuclear explosion. Please do not believe rumors. Do not spread rumors. Netizens don't buy it. Director, I heard the blast. My house shook like an earthquake. And you say it's extreme weather. Director is about to be fired by the Strategic Deception Bureau. Director peeked at the comments. Sighing, this bunch of netizens is too smart. It's tough working for the Deception Bureau. Even though the video was taken down, the comments section was still hotly discussed. Nothing can stop it.